Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wayne Liu. I'm joined by co-host Alex Wong. You're listening to the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. I know the number one topic in the NBA right now is Shea a grifter? My number one question to that is, do people know how to talk ball beyond the most basic things possible? And we can appreciate the fact that OKC was just straight up the better team in game one against Minnesota. I don't think that was a 20-point difference because one man shot 14 free throws. But anyway, the biggest topic, at least in Toronto, we've been kind of dancing around it, is should the Raptors hop in on a potential Giannis Antetokounmpo trade sweepstakes? Join me for this is Alex Wong. Alex, I think this is like at least the third or fourth different show in which we have talked about a potential trade for Giannis.
Yeah, we did Giannis watch, pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, after the first vaccinations dropped. We've been doing this Giannis watch for a little bit, but before we even get into this, just want to wish all my Tottenham Hotspurs fans good luck today in the Europa Cup final. I think Vicario is going to have a big game in net, and we're going to take it 1-0. I think I'm looking at Brennan Johnson to score in the 70th minute to send the Spurs through and break Man U's hearts again. So just want to send that message out there.
It's a courageous bet considering I think Tottenham has been in a trophy drought for like 20 plus years.
Well, you see my betting live last Friday. You know how I bet. So
you know what?
You literally said to my face, "These are terrible bets." I took Luke Cornett under at halftime of Knicks Celtics game 6.
First off, we're at a friend's birthday dinner and you whipped out the Betway app as you always do.
Yeah, we love Betway. Yeah.
And the number one thing you told me was, "Hey, I got a parlay going between between the Boston Celtics to win Game 6 and the Toronto Maple Leafs to win Game 6." And at least the Leafs came through for you,
Sorry for betting with my heart, My heart bleeds green. Yeah.
Wow.
And the Celtics are green. Yeah.
That's nasty. That's a nasty clip to talk about. Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, the craziest part was
Alex was wrong.
The craziest part was in the second half when it was pretty clear that the Knicks were going to win because I think they were up like 25 at half.
They were up 40. Yeah.
Oh, they're up 40 at half. Yeah. You started to pivot and you built impromptu a live parlay of like under Josh Hart points, over Luke Cornett points, and like over Sam Hauser threes or something. It was
I zagged and I lost. So never zag.
That was not good, man.
Yeah. Anyways, Giannis, I'm here to talk Giannis. I'm ready for this Giannis talk. How are you gonna lay this out for me today?
Okay, so we are gonna start with the Toronto Raptors. We'll talk through 5 different potential teams that could put together a trade package for Giannis. I think the scope of it should be really boils down to 3 questions. Number one, would the team acquiring Giannis be a title contender based on what their roster will be after the trade? Number 2, would Milwaukee actually get enough in return to agree to this trade? And number 3, would Giannis be enticed enough to make the go-ahead and say that, yes, I will be traded to this team? He doesn't have a no-trade clause, but at the same time, that, especially for franchise icons like this getting moved, they will have some say in where they're going. And I think Giannis, as a champion, as a 2-time MVP, Finals MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, you name it, everything he's done for Milwaukee, I feel like he should at least get a say. So those are the 3 questions. Would the team getting him be a contender? Number 2, would Milwaukee do it? And number 3, would Giannis do it? That's the I consent meme, which is
Can I add 2 more questions to make this pod 3 hours?
I love 3-hour pods, man.
Yeah. So the 4th question I think would be, depending on what you're proposing, would the team do the deal? And just in terms of, is that too many assets to give up, whatever you're cooking up? And the final and most important question is, do they have a roster spot for Thanasis, who announced yesterday that he is returning from his Achilles tear and will be available next season?
Yeah, based on my analysis of the Brooklyn Nets roster, I believe Thanasis will be starting alongside of Giannis.
Yeah, just to answer your question about will they be a contender with Giannis, it's yes to all teams except for Brooklyn.
When we get to Brooklyn, you guys will see what we're talking about.
Brooklyn.
But of course, we are a Toronto Raptors podcast first and foremost, and so let's start with the Toronto Raptors. Should the Raptors trade for Giannis and what is a realistic trade package for him. So we'll start with just the setup. I think most people understand this by now in terms of what's the link between Toronto and Giannis. Number one, this is proven beyond doubt that Masai has pursued Giannis at least twice, if not more. In the 2013 draft, the Raptors, when he first took over the Raptors did not have a first-round pick in that year. They had actually traded it for Kyle Lowry, which was under a previous regime, and Brian Colangelo. Turned out all great. That was the growth. But that year, the draft, the Raptors were desperately trying to trade into, maybe make calls with OKC, maybe make calls even with Milwaukee potentially to try to get in at Giannis. Ultimately, they couldn't do it, but there's actual open gym footage of the discussions of this. So like this is like as like it's clear. And by the way, all open gym footage is reviewed by the Raptors front office brass. So if they want you to see something, you will be seeing it.
State sponsored media?
That's that's about as state sponsored media as it gets, at least with sports. Anyway, the more prominent time was in 2021 free agency. Giannis was set to hit free agency. Ultimately, he didn't because he signed an extension. That was when he also got the Drew Holiday trade. That's also when they won the championship. So everything all worked out for Giannis in that stretch. But the Raptors undoubtedly went after Giannis in that time as well. They structured their cap very carefully. In fact, if Kawhi leaving was the first step to the 2019 champions being torn apart, I think Giannis potentially going to free agency was the second step, in which you saw Marcus Hall's contract, you saw Serge Ibaka's contract, all these guys sort of moving on, Fred re-signing, but with a slight dip in his contract to potentially account for a chance to sign Giannis. Ultimately, that didn't happen, but still, there was a real pursuit there. I think beyond that, we know that there's a definitive personal connection between the Antetokounmpo family and Masai himself. I'm not going to speculate as to where it goes beyond that, but I do know that there is a connection there. And ultimately, when you're talking Giannis in Toronto, you're talking Giannis and Masai and a multi-year history. Alex, as somebody who has covered this across 3 different platforms between Yahoo Sports Canada, Sportsnet, and now Hello and Welcome, am I missing anything here?
No, I think there's always been this connection that you mentioned between Masai and Giannis, and even you talked about, I think, the way they structured the contracts in Tampa. The way that cap genius Bobby Webster did it was they left the exact room to take in Giannis's max deal. And this was at the time when I think they traded for Drew Holiday and Giannis signed his first extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think, sources relatively close to the situation has told us too that, Giannis has spoken about his interest in coming to Toronto in the past.
Launch.
Yeah, so I think there's obvious connections there, but as we get into where the Raptors are at now and what the trade proposal is, I feel like that's really the biggest barrier, right? Like when you talk about the Raptors, because Raptors coming off the championship, Raptors in Tampa, even Raptors after Scotty Barnes' rookie season, you could see the makeup of a team that could make a very competitive offer and be contending. I don't know if the Raptors check those marks now. And I don't know if Giannis looks at this Toronto team and thinks that they check those marks for what he wants, right? So I think those are the biggest barriers if you're talking about whether Giannis could land in Toronto. Whether the Raptors are going to make a push for this if Giannis is available, I think it's a definitive yes, because if you look at the past 4 or 5 years, every time there's been a major free agent or disgruntled star that's been available, the Raptors have been involved. And we know they were talking to Portland about Dame. And they always get themselves involved, at least have the conversation. I think the pursuit will be there, but I am skeptical if the Raptors can kind of come out on top here.
Okay, let's actually look at some of the trade packages, because as you mentioned, it's really important to see what you actually have left over. Okay, so I have 2 offers here. One is the hopeful offer. One is Toronto's best actual offer. I'm gonna go with the hopeful offer in terms of if you pick up the phone, you got a sense that Giannis would be interested in coming to Toronto, and you got a sense that Milwaukee wants to talk that over. This is the first offer you would send, right? You know how in contract negotiations you don't really offer your best thing first. So what you offer with the hopeful offer is R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Grady Dick, number 9 pick in this year's draft, 2027 first, 2029 first, 2031 first. The future first, all unprotected from Toronto side. So you're getting 4 first-round picks, including this year's number 9. You're getting 3 rotation players for the Bucks: R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Grady Dick, Alex Wong. Does Milwaukee laugh you out the room if you actually make this proposal, or are you having a conversation?
My pitch to John Horst here would be those 3 players headlining this deal would be 3 of your best young prospects that you've had in 8 years. RJ, Quick, and Grady Dick, perfect players because you don't have first rounders coming up in Milwaukee to stay competitive. Perfect players to build a big 3 around winning 38 games. You will be
well,
right
we didn't
there.
even win 38 games with those guys. I'm just saying.
you will be right there. I don't think you get laughed out of the room. I think John Horst would probably tell Bobby that, I'll call you back in 5 days after I go field all my other offers. And this is a tough thing. I think, listen, I think every team is throwing in all the picks that they have, right? Like future picks. I think that is the starter for every team. This is the tough thing about the Raptors landing in 9th, right? Like if the Raptors had the number 1 overall pick, maybe we don't even have this conversation. We draft Cooper Flag and we move on. If the Raptors had jumped to 2, 3, 4, it's a much more appealing offer for Milwaukee, right? Like if we were the 4th, we might be the damn 4th, So,
oh wow!
So
no,
we
the damn 4th would be crazy. Masai will be using that corny line. Absolutely.
Oh man, we the damn 4th versus everybody. T-shirts are flying.
It's gonna be him saying, "I want to be Ujiri Akovic" after hiring Darko.
So it's a nice little conversation starter, a nice icebreaker. But I don't think a package headline by RJ gets it done.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. As much as there's so much more that goes into trades, people still want to win trades, especially like this. This is a legacy-defining trade for Milwaukee, and if you need at least one headliner coming back, you know what I mean? And as much as you could say all those individual pieces have value, there is not a headliner in that bunch, with all due respect to the players involved and the picks involved. Okay, fine. The serious offer then, Toronto's best offer, and I threw this up into the little trade machine. But the actual best offer Toronto could put together would be Scotty Barnes, who is signed to a 5-year max this year and beyond. So you have 5 full years of Scotty. You get Grady Dick, you get Ochai Agbaji, and you get the number 9 pick in this year's draft. You get 2027 first round pick in 2029. I'm actually going to take 2031 off the table. That's where I draw the line.
Oh, come on, man.
I'll give you everything else except for that 2031 pick. No, you're already getting. Look, you're getting an all-star caliber player in Scotty Barnes, who is under full team control for 5 years. You're getting Grady Dick, who could be a future starter in this league. Ochai Agbaji, who probably is a starter in the league right now if you choose to re-sign him. If you're Milwaukee, you at least have 1 year to sort of look it through. And you're also getting 3 first-round picks. And if you really squeeze my arm, I don't really want to give you 4, but I mean, what am I going to say? If Giannis says yes and you just need to give up 1 more, I think Raps would get talked into 1 more. Is this an offer that is like, you're like, all right, does Milwaukee have to have a meeting, in the infamous words of Bill Simmons?
Yeah, well, first of all, you forgot to shout out the trade machine Picasso before you pulled this up.
Well, yeah.
That would be Bill. Yeah, I think definitely would be a meeting. And honestly, if I found out that Bobby Webster, the talk broke down because he wouldn't put in a 2031 pick, I would go spray some graffiti on his Holt Renfrew ads.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So we are putting in the 2031 pick. Okay,
Fine.
Second of all,
there's really no basis to not put it in. Actually, you really have no ground to stand on. Unfortunately,
yeah, this is like spending $600 on Leafs tickets and then being like, no, I'm not gonna buy a $20 beer. So I think this is a competitive offer. I mean, I think this boils down to, number one, how the Bucks view Scotty Barnes, because you are getting potentially a building block here for the future depending on how you view him, right?
Guys,
But
it doesn't really matter how you view Scotty Barnes. He would be undeniably Milwaukee's best piece. Like,
yes,
not even close.
yeah. But there's a different value in whether you see him as like one piece, shouts to the anime, or you view him as like the centerpiece, right? So it's really it's really the perception of how Milwaukee views that.
Okay.
It's still tough for me because I know we're going to talk about other offers. I feel like other teams can beat this offer. And I think, again, where it breaks down is the damn number 9 pick. Because if you were offering Scotty and, say, the 3rd overall pick, suddenly Milwaukee has a path to say that we're going to get whoever it is, Ace Bailey, and get Scotty, and suddenly we can turn the page, you know? Like, we'll have Kuzma as the big 3 for the next, couple years while we wait. But,
oh, man.
Like, that to me would be a way more appealing offer, to know that you're getting 2 centerpieces back. Okay. Whereas here you're getting Scotty, you are getting a boatload of picks, but this is a very competitive offer, and I agree with you. This is probably the best. This is the best offer that the Raptors can make.
This is the best possible offer.
This is the best offer. From
a Raptors perspective, would you do this? For me, I'd really I would wrestle with this for a very long time. Because it kind of runs counter to everything you're building, right? The last 2 years has been pivoting around Scotty as your leader, as your franchise guy.
Sure.
And even though the offensive production hasn't come yet, I think the leadership skills, I think those are things that are real. I think that, the way that the team has been rallying around him, like, it just wouldn't necessarily make sense to sharply pivot away from this when you've moved heaven and earth to pivot into this position in the first place. Now, of course, you're getting Giannis, which, is incredible. But at the same time, I just don't know if this sort of makes sense, I guess, with the overall direction of the Raptors. I mean, even with the Kawhi trade, which obviously was the biggest trade in franchise history. It's between that and Vince, but I think Kawhi, had a bigger impact.
Vince doesn't matter.
You know what? It's 20 years later. All is forgiven.
The anniversary's over. We're moving on.
But I think with that trade, even then, if you think back to it, the Raps have been in the playoffs multiple years. You got a chance to buy low on a star. You changed your coach. You go all in. That makes sense. Even though it was dramatic, it made sense. This one is kind of out of nowhere. That's my argument.
You know me, like, when a superstar like this is available, especially with Giannis, like, I'm saying yes to that. Unless I think there is a superstar on this team that can eventually become that.
Okay.
And Giannis is 30, so I think there are still some prime years left.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think all the questions you want to ask after the trade of, what does the roster look like after you've given up these pieces, I think those are always problems that you figure out later, right? Like, you get the superstar in, you figure out what you have left, and having a superstar there leads to other things, right? Like, there's other moves that you can make. Suddenly, I think, the buyout market, even though I don't know, it's not like the most appealing every year. Like, things like that open up for you. So for me, it's not really that difficult of a decision. I think if Milwaukee is interested in this deal, if Giannis is interested in coming, I make the deal and I worry about everything else after.
I think if Giannis is so interested in coming to Toronto in particular, and that he's saying that he's willing to talk extension and maybe even commit to an extension beyond the fact that he has 2 more years left on his deal, then I think you make this trade more freely. I wouldn't make this just for a 2-year rental with no promise of, a future.
Yeah, but you look at it too. Because like the NBA windows are so short too.
No,
right?
I hear that. Yeah. But for me, I want to be able to at least secure a long-term commitment from Giannis where if everything pivots and it doesn't work out, I think you can still pivot away and trade him away. If let's say you try it out for 2-3 years and Toronto doesn't work, but that option doesn't materialize if he doesn't extend.
Yeah, I think just given the relationship, the previous pursuits by Masai, I think they would go all in on this and make the deal. I really do. I think, and this is not even to like, because like Masai's been Scotty's guy, right? Like he's been huge about building the team around Scotty, enabling him in this leadership role. Getting in, bringing in a head coach that has chemistry with him. All of this stuff. But so I don't think it's an easy decision for Masai, but I think for Giannis, like I think he would make this deal.
Giannis is kind of Masai's white whale. That's the thing. Like, I mean, not to say that this whole decision will be on Masai. I mean, obviously he would be the one making a trade, and he would be the one pushing for the trade if he wanted to. The thing is, a trade of this size, you're involving ownership, you're involving the MLSC president. Which, by the way, MLSC president could be a little busy these days. Keith Pelly having to decide what to do with the Maple Leafs, having to decide what to do with I guess TFC as well. I guess maybe TFC can be pushed down the line, all due respect.
Once again, TFC's in the Vince Carter category right now. We're not talking about them.
Okay, let's say this potential framework even potentially works out. I think the three key questions that I had would be, number one, would Milwaukee do this trade? Yeah. And I think that you're like, well, it depends on whatever other calls are, but at least it's in the range of what can be entertained for Giannis trade. So I think for me, it would be like Milwaukee would definitely canvass and call the other team to see anyone can beat it, but at least you're in the mix. So I wouldn't say a hard yes or no from the Milwaukee side. Would Giannis want to do this trade? And I guess that's really the ultimate question, is how much does Giannis have interest in coming to Toronto? And that's the part that without direct access to Giannis and his family, there's just no way to really know that.
Yeah, but I think if you just kind of look at the NBA landscape, you look at what Giannis wants at this point in his career. Obviously, a competitive
he says he wants
team.
to contend, which we'll get to that in a second, because the leftover roster is actually maybe not terrible.
Sure, and you look at the competitiveness of other teams. There's definitely other teams that are way more attractive in the immediate for Giannis.
Okay,
when he's looking at this, right? And we're gonna talk about those teams. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think the last question will just be, how competitive would Toronto be? Because if the trade is as sort of the way I built it, Scotty, Grady, Ochai, number 9 pick, 2027 pick, 29 pick, 2031 pick, the leftover roster that you would have would be Emmanuel Quickley, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jakob Poeltl as your starting 5. And then your bench would be Jacoby Walter, Jamal Shead, Jonathan Mobo, Jamison Battle. I don't know, you re-sign Chris Boucher. And that's kind of your starting point. I think the Raptors may still have access to the mid-level exception.
Oh, that's going to Thanasis.
Add one more.
That's going to Thanasis.
Oh, the whole mid-level is going to... You know what, honestly, again,
I think that's going to...
I suppose...
Giannis is going to hold the entire organization hostage on this one.
You know what? It's fine, man. Thanasis is going to be doing weekly. He's going to take the Garrett Temple role of calling weekly the Raptor show.
Oh, like, they're gonna bring Yahoo Sports Canada back just for Thanasis, man.
We'll do whatever we need. I guess in
we
Toronto,
will promise an Antetokounmpo on the show and hope you're hungry for nothing. Yeah.
Well, we could get a second Alex on the show, and it would be Alex Antetokounmpo.
I'm gonna die. We promise an Antetokounmpo and it's cost.
I'm willing, man. We'll have Costas on the show every single week, man.
What did this cost us? Oh my god.
Everything. Okay, with that, let's say, yeah, that's your starting 5: IQ, Ingram, RJ, Giannis, Jakob. Basically, you're just swapping out Giannis for Scotty, and then you're getting a bench of Jacoby Walter, Jamal Shead, Jonathan Mobo, Jamison Battle, Chris Boucher.
Yeah, it's better than the Bucks team he's on right now. Yeah.
Well, is it? Well, okay. I mean, Dame's out for a while. Dame's out for the year. So
this is assuming
yes,
Dame is out.
Better than the Bucks.
This is assuming Dame is out. They have an aging Brook Lopez, who I'm not even sure if he's going to come back. With Ingram, with Quickly, like that's a pretty good starting lineup. And the bench, I would say, is average to below average here. Like, you'd definitely be concerned about a little bit about the depth. Like, listen, I'm happy about the rookie developments of the guys and stuff. But if you're talking about real contenders, like, that's not a strong bench.
I think for me, the immediate weaknesses of this team would be, you don't have a wing stopper. IQ, Ingram, RJ, none of those guys would do that. Scotty was the Raptors' wing stopper. Giannis obviously is great on defense, but I don't want to exhaust him having to chase around like the Tatums of the world. You go to the playoffs, even Paolo Banchero. Like, I don't want him to be the primary defender against these guys. But he kind of would have to be, just based on sort of the roster left over. And as you mentioned, the inexperience off the bench, maybe even a lack of size. I think Giannis and Jakob is also a bit of an awkward pairing. I think they can make it work, both really talented guys, but I think Giannis has also had the luxury of playing with a spacing five, and who knows, maybe I don't know. Jakob has trade value, so you can maybe swap him out for a spacing five.
This
if
is
you really
definitely
want
like
to
a
make something
weird
like that.
roster. It's like an imperfect roster.
It's
You're
a
like,
super weird roster.
yeah, you're trying
Yeah.
to fit pieces that don't really mesh. You're betting on the talent here.
You're
But
betting on
again,
the come with
yeah,
the rookies,
yeah,
as Brian
and
Windhorst would say.
okay, and
So it's one of his go-to phrases.
okay,
You know
and
what I'm talking about. You're
not
a
my
collector.
Picasso, not my
Oh,
Picasso.
it's more of a Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. Oh God. So yeah. Wow. Lost my train of thought there. After your gooning. So yeah. I think this is what you said. Like we get Giannis for 2 years, maybe the extension. Like you bring this roster in, this is not going to be the final product,
Yeah.
right? Like you're gonna have to, and you're gonna have to. You need an innovative coach. You need a
Oh yeah.
coach. You need an innovative coach here. Giannis is a great piece to have, especially defensive end, all of that stuff. But how are you going to maximize his skills, at least to start this era with an imperfect roster? So I think there's a lot of different elements at play here,
Yeah.
and this I think this is one of the big issues is that you see other teams where it's a way better fit, and you see other teams that don't have to really tear down the infrastructure of their roster and be able to contend right away.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one for me. I'm just like, I think there's not really a slam dunk anywhere. Like, I don't think Toronto's a slam dunk destination for Giannis. I don't think that the team left over is a slam dunk to win around Giannis. And I don't think that the Raptors trade offer is a slam dunk to beat out the other offers for Giannis. And that's where, for me, I'm just like, as much as this is exciting to talk about, it's fun to sort of ideate on. I think the Raptors are clearly in a young state of their rebuild where the Raptors need to do what the Rockets did this year in the playoffs, which would be make a run next year, get to the playoffs, be competitive, probably be a feisty first round out, but people are like, wow, look at this guy for doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people's perception of Amin Thompson went up after the playoffs. People's perception of Jabari Smith went up in the playoffs. People's perception of Alperen Sengun went up in the playoffs. It went down for Jalen Green, but whatever. Like, at least they like have a basis of winning. They're young, and all of a sudden, when you're winning, all of a sudden your assets just magically look better, even if they're the same players, just maybe one step above in their production. And I feel like maybe if this same scenario occurred next year, if the Raptors make a run next year to the playoffs, and again, they're a feisty team, but they lose in the first round, then maybe you could be in the talk of like, you could be in this neighborhood, but ultimately, it's fun to talk about. It's a great bar debate, but I do think that this is not the right time for the Raptors to get Giannis, or it's not the right time for the Raptors to trade for Giannis. And I think that's a little sad, really, because Masai has pursued him at least 3 times in the last decade of getting him. But we can at least get Thanasis. Maybe we get Thanasis instead.
Yeah, we all pursue things.
You
in
can still
life.
get an Antetokounmpo jersey. It'll just say 43 back.
Yeah, we all pursue things in life that we can't get or can't get back, and that's just the reality of life.
man.
Jerome has photoshopped for the visual listeners, watchers here of Thanasis in a hello and welcome hoodie. He looks great. He looks awesome in this.
I mean, I
man.
kind of want this hoodie.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a pretty straightforward design, but I
Yeah,
could rock with this
we
hoodie.
should get Thanasis to model for us. Yeah, I think he would be a great hello and welcome merch model. Yeah, catch him on Nation Gear. No, here's the
A merch merchant.
here's the Giannis. Here's the parlay that gets Giannis to Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Like, number one, he goes to the Bucks and he's like, I want to stay in the East. Okay, like that
Okay.
has happened.
Okay.
Number two, the Bucks will acquiesce. Shout outs to Oasis to his requests.
Great song,
right?
man.
They'll honor his requests and work with teams in the East.
Mm.
Number three, the Bucks view Scotty Barnes as a centerpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And number four, Giannis wants to come to Toronto as his destination. So I think if you hit those 4 parlays, and then you have a Giannis in Toronto.
Yeah. By the way, I'm seeing this point in the chat. Someone is, making so that after we trade for Giannis, theoretically, we're done, huh? No more trades allowed. Got it? No. Of course, you can make other trades. I think your viability of like how much you can make trades will be a little more limited, considering the fact that you've traded away all your controllable first round picks in this deal. But of course, you can trade. Like I said, like you can maybe swap out, Jakob. You can maybe swap out RJ. You know what I mean? But there would need to be some tinkering involved. Ultimately, I think it's kind of a B across the board. It's a B level trade package. It's a B level contender afterwards, and Toronto is more of a B level destination. It's not an A tier destination.
Yeah, but let's be clear. I want
Giannis.
Giannis. Yeah.
I mean, selfishly, for media purposes, this will change all our lives and all our careers. And if they did make this, we will be some hand wringing in terms of like, did we give up too much? But ultimately, we'd look at Giannis and be like, holy shit, this is the best player we've ever had outside of Kawhi. And I do say outside of Kawhi because I do think that 2019 Kawhi is a higher peak than whatever Giannis is.
Noticeably absent, Vince Carter.
That's not even in the conversation. I'm sorry, man.
Thank you. All right, that's the Raptors pitch.
That's the Raptors pitch. Let us know if you would actually do that deal, what the Raptors would look like afterwards. I'm sure this will spawn endless debate. Also, let us know if you are actually going to be sucked into a third Giannis trade chase, because that's just good to know for content purposes.
Oh, I Toronto fans love to be sucked in, man.
We've been peddling Giannis for a decade.
Let me check the Leafs odds to win the Stanley Cup next season, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
A reference to the infamous tweet from our friend JD Bunkus: would you trade Austin Matthews for the entire Raptors franchise? I would trade the entire Leafs franchise for Giannis Antetokounmpo. How about that?
Yo, I will fight a gorilla for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm already on record. I will walk to Fallsview Casino if Giannis comes here as well. So,
Fallsview sponsor this walk. Okay. Next team potentially is San Antonio. San Antonio's mentioned a lot. I think the link here, not that there's any specific link, but I think the case is who wouldn't want to play with Wemby, and also there's no state income tax in Texas. San Antonio's best offer, I'm going to just cut to the chase and give you their best offer. It includes the number 2 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, which the Spurs moved up to get. Very fortunate for the Spurs once again.
Yeah, congrats to the Spurs. Nothing good ever happens to that organization.
Brother, the Spurs in the NBA lottery is just incredible, man. It's Jesus Christ. They're also putting in reigning Rookie of the Year, Stefan Castle, Harrison Barnes, and Devin Vassell. I think you can maybe swap
Harrison
Vassell.
Barnes, what's a polar bear doing in this trade scenario?
You need enough salary to go back. So Harrison Barnes is there purely for salary. Devin Vassell, you can maybe swap him for Keldon Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, however you like, but whatever. It doesn't. One of the two of them, because you just need enough money to put in this deal. But the clear headliners are the number 2 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, Stefan Castle. Again, they also have extra picks, so maybe they throw in some extra picks as well, but at least that's the framework. My question to you is San Antonio a contender with this setup with De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I guess they would have to fill out the rest of the roster with other pieces. And it's not like the Spurs are that great as is, but ultimately that's not a bad 3 to start with.
I'm not gonna overthink it. They're gonna be a contender. I think even with just Wemby and the roster currently, when Wemby's on the floor, I think they were, trending towards being a 500, over 500 team. You add Giannis to the mix. I think having those two guys, I think that automatically puts them into the same conversations as, say, like a Lakers team after they got LeBron and Luka. Obviously,
Wow.
LeBron at a different stage in his career, and we saw them flame out in the first round. But that to me immediately is a playoff team with some upside. I think they would be a contender in the West.
I think
Favorites, no, but they get in the conversation.
they're not favorites. The issue with Giannis going out west is I don't know what team he can join other than OKC where you would be the favorites to win the West.
Yeah.
Which
I think that's
is
fair.
saying a lot. But the West is just kind of nuts. I think that you need a couple things if you're Giannis. I think number one, you would need to know Wemby, are you okay? Like,
because he did miss the second half of the season with the blood clot issue.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this going to be a recurring issue or whatever? You know what I mean? I think that's a fair question for Giannis to want to know about. And I suppose there's only so many assurances you can get. It's just health at the end of the day. Again, we would all love to see Wemby healthy for his whole career. This guy's a generational player. I think number 2 for Giannis, there has been some ideas of it's sort of leaked out where it's like whatever team Giannis wants to go to, he would want trade team control. And I do think San Antonio is one of the rare teams where he would go there and he wouldn't be the number 1 guy in charge.
Right. Yeah. This is Wemby's team.
It's still Wemby's team. Now, I don't think Wemby's going to be reluctant to share control. I don't think Wemby's sort of really given off that sort of idea. But ultimately, if they had to make one phone call in terms of like, okay, we're gonna make a big decision. We're gonna hire a new head coach, or we're gonna trade for another player, or whatever. The final call would not be to Giannis; it would be to Wemby.
I feel like it would become like a group kind of decision. I feel like Wemby and Giannis would be kind of consulted together. Like
Okay.
ultimately, you do want to keep the two guys happy.
What if they disagree? Who would you back? You'd back Wemby.
Yeah, I guess you would back Wemby.
Yeah. So the buck doesn't stop with Giannis in San Antonio.
Well, the buck is stopping in Milwaukee, so
Oh man, that buck is in Milwaukee after they trade Giannis. They're
that
gonna
buck
be
is
worst
the
team
deer in
NBA,
the
so.
headlights right now.
I'm sorry, man. The number one option after they trade Giannis is literally going to be Kyle Kuzma.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm actually so sad for.
No,
Well,
listen,
I'm not
I
sad
think-
for Milwaukee, man.
I
Screw it.
think
They
San
got a title, man.
Antonio is a great destination, and like if you think about, if you compare it to the Toronto offer that we just made, right? Like,
Well, look, they don't have shooters, they don't have wing stoppers,
yeah,
but they do have Wemby and Giannis
yeah,
and
that's
Fox.
a great start. That's a great start. I think
Yeah.
from Milwaukee's standpoint, if you're feeling these offers, so if I throw it to you, it's like, what's more appealing for you, Scotty and the 9th pick, or Stefan Castle and the 2nd pick? Right? Because that's really what the comparison is if you're looking at the offers, right?
I think there's a debate to be had, and I know that
Yeah.
this sounds like a Homer debate, but I think okay, you say Stefan Castle Rookie of the Year, you're like, I mean, of course. Well, I mean, first off, Scotty's also won Rookie of the Year. I think
Sure.
the other thing with Stefan Castle too is he's got to really improve the 3-point shot. I don't think that winning Rookie of the Year in this specific draft is like a guarantee. Like you're gonna be like, it's not exactly like Wemby winning Rookie of the Year last year. I think that Stefan Castle is a very promising, player. I would love to have him on my team. I think the 3-point shot comes around. He has a lot of elements, but it's not a guarantee that he's even a future All-Star in this league.
Yeah, but I think
And then the
Man,
number 2 pick is
the
going to be
number
Dylan
two,
Harper.
yeah,
which
the number
is still
2
pretty
pick
good.
over the 9th pick really wins out here. I feel like.
I think I think in aggregate, I think San Antonio's best offer probably is better than Toronto's best offer. But again, it would really depend. And I think if you're Milwaukee, and again, you don't control your draft, you might want the best immediate players possible right now, so that you're not like the worst team in the NBA, and you're also giving up that pick, because that's currently what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's all gonna really come down to once the offers come in, like who Milwaukee views as the best young player. I think that's how they're gonna start evaluating this, right? Because picks are gonna be the same, right? Like the
Yeah.
pick packages are similar. I mean, I know we're talking about Houston and some other teams. Some other teams can offer like better picks because they
Oh,
have like
yeah.
other teams' picks and things
When
like
we get
that.
to Brooklyn, it's going to be hilarious.
Because Houston's got all of Phoenix's picks and stuff, I think,
Yeah,
right? Or something,
right.
yeah. So that will change the equation as well. But if Milwaukee is looking at who is the best young player we can get back, then I think it's a very interesting conversation across the board. And Castle will not be a top 3 in that.
Castle would not be a top 3 player
No,
coming back.
he would not be a
and
top
maybe,
3
who
of the
knows?
offers.
Maybe we're just a little too low on Stefan Castle, but
Sure.
I mean,
But Dylan Harper would be in that conversation because of just the appeal of taking a 2nd overall pick.
I agree. Would Milwaukee do this trade? Again, you're in the conversation. You would shop this idea around. You would go to different teams. You would leverage it. Is this the best potential trade on the table for them? I would still kind of say no.
Yeah, I think there's better offers coming with the
Yeah.
other teams that you're going to talk about.
And I guess my last question is, would Giannis do this? You are committing to go to San Antonio long term. That is one of the smallest markets in the league.
Yeah, but I also think from a competitive standpoint, you're aligning yourself with Wemby. And I think the floor of that is so high, right? Like if Wemby is healthy, you know that you're going to be in the conversation. You're with a great organization that has managed through different eras of contending. And you don't have to really worry about attracting free agents to come to San Antonio because you already have your 2 stars. It's about leaning on the organization to just fill out the rest of the roster.
Yeah.
It's a pretty appealing destination.
This is definitely in the mix. I would say this is like a top 3 in the teams that we would discuss. Houston is another team that's commonly discussed. We brought their name up a couple times. The link here in terms of the sell would be, this is a young team. They're on the rise. They obviously just finished with the number 2 pick. They lost in the first round in 7 games, but very competitive 7-game series. By the way, hand-to-hand combat on that series. I cannot believe how physical that series was. No state income tax as well, obviously, still in the
I'm so
state
sick of this
Texas.
no state income tax.
No,
Let's just eliminate taxes in the world, man.
Okay, I don't know about that, but
I'm gonna zag.
Okay,
I'm gonna zag you. Can we
What?
just get universal basic income for everyone? Yeah.
Well, who's gonna pay that income, man? If not taxes, you want to eliminate taxes and give UBI?
Banks should print more money, man. I don't know. Figure it out. Yeah, I'm zagging. Yeah.
This ain't Karl Marx over here, man. Goodness. Nah, we're not talking Das Kapital on this podcast, man. Goodness, man.
Is that a De La Soul album?
It does kind of sound like one.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, whatever. Like it's no state income talk, blah blah blah. Houston's best offer, and tell me if there's actually a better offer that they potentially could put together than this, but it would be Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Jalen Green, the 10th pick in the 2025 NBA draft that came by way of Phoenix, and they also have additional, I think they have 7 first-round picks potentially to throw into any deal. I don't know if they'll throw all 7 into this one, but it's Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Jalen Green, and let's say 3 first-round picks.
Sure. First of all, I'll be asking for way more picks, whatever picks they can throw in. Like their best picks. I want their best picks. And I'm asking for Şengün as well.
Which I don't know, man. I feel like so what?
But
you're swapping out Jalen Green for Alperen Şengün?
This is the Daryl Morey method of negotiation, right? Remember when there was the reporting of Ben Simmons being on the market, and he was like, "Yo, Masai, I want Pascal and OG." Right now, this is Giannis. This is not Ben Simmons we're talking about. But I'm looking at that roster and I'm like, I want Şengün and I want Amen Thompson.
Okay, but you don't even have a team left over if you really do that.
But it doesn't matter. Like if I'm John Horst, I'm trying to fleece. Like I have to open with a fleece.
There's just a no conversation then. What are you talking about, man?
No, but like you think? I don't know. Yeah. How desperate is Houston? Yeah.
I might say I will give you either Şengün or Thompson, but I'm not giving you both.
Okay. And I'm guessing,
I would rather give up Thompson.
I would take Thompson if I was John Horst. But I would squeeze every pick out of them.
Okay.
Like your best picks. Like you own Phoenix's picks.
You got Phoenix's picks. You got Phoenix's picks.
You have to give me all of them. Yeah. Like no, but
honestly, you might do a great job as John Horst, right?
No. But like I think it's fine. I get it. Like you don't want to give up players because you want to keep this roster. You want to keep building. But I think all the best picks have to be on the table. And I think with that offer, I think Houston would probably be in the lead.
I just don't know if Houston will do that trade.
Well, I think that's the big question. This is a team where the question about whether they'll still be a contender after is interesting.
Yeah.
And whether you want to put all your assets on the table for Giannis. Like, is this the guy that you want to get? Because we know there's going to be more opportunities to get other guys. Now, they're not going to be Giannis level type, probably, right? Because he's a top 3 player. But you saw what the Knicks did, like put all their picks out to get Mikal Bridges. Otherwise, they'd be in this conversation probably right now. But like, dude, is this the time for Houston to put all their assets they've accumulated and get Giannis?
Okay, well, the one way to look at it is the leftover roster of what this team contend with this current setup would be Fred VanVleet, which you would have to re-sign, Alperen Şengün, who hopefully you keep, but let's say Şengün / Thompson, depending on sort of what you want. In my situation, I'm keeping Şengün over Thompson. Giannis, Dylan Brooks, and Tari Eason. That's your starting 5. You got Fred, you got Tari Eason, you got Dylan Brooks, you got Giannis and Şengün. So you're ideally dominating the paint.
Yeah, I don't
really see how you wouldn't do that with.
I don't hate that starting lineup. Yeah.
Şengün and Giannis might be a little awkward of a fit. You know, there's a bit of like overlap between the two of those guys, but I mean, ultimately, two again extremely talented players.
If I'm Houston, I'd rather keep Amen Thompson.
Really?
Yeah. I almost feel like can you get away with getting rid of Şengün instead in the deal, and then giving away all the picks, and then you keep Amen Thompson. Giannis, Amen Thompson sounds really scary. Yeah. I think that there's some potential there. Then they will also shoot 1 of 19 from the free throw line.
I would say, man, this team is getting hack-a-shacked for 48 straight minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, but
These
I think
games will
Amen
take
Thompson
longer than a Red Sox Yankees game.
Amen Thompson has such high upside. Like, listen, this is no disrespect to Şengün. Like, that's an
Okay,
all-star
okay.
player, right? But I'm just so intrigued by Amen Thompson that
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
think-
the Rockets, I would rather keep Amen Thompson.
I think that's where maybe you and I disagree because I think of Şengün as I think of him as more valuable and maybe
Sure.
a better
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
in
And
the
that's
future
totally
than
fair.
than
That's
Thompson.
totally fair. I think Şengün, you
Yeah.
already know kind of what type of player he is, and he contributes way more on the offensive end as well.
Yeah.
And he's beyond just a scorer, great playmaker as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
No, but I think
Is
Houston,
that team a contender as is with Fred?
I think that's a
in
contender,
your case,
but
Thompson, Giannis.
yeah,
Dylan
I
Brooks,
think
and
that's
Tyrese.
that's like a top 6 team. You know, like I don't know if they're in the conversation of like we're the favorites.
I think regular season wise, it probably still keeps Houston as like in the mix for number 2, record wise. But
And
I
to be
think
clear, like Houston number
playoff
2
wise, they're
seed,
definitely got a higher level. Like
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
when we talk about top 6, it doesn't even mean Houston's gonna take a drop because like Houston was like 2 games away from being like the 6th or
Sure.
7th seed, right?
You-
So
you're
I
right,
think
you're right.
I think it puts them in the same position with more upside. And you're betting on obviously Amen Thompson and some of these other guys to take a leap as well.
Yeah.
But I think they would still need to add a few more pieces here. I don't know if I love the Fred Dillon backcourt as like a long term.
I would love some more
solution.
consistent shooters. I mean, I love them
Yeah.
defensively, but I would want some more consistent shooters.
Yeah, because
Fred was kind of hot in the second half of that.
well,
first
here's the
round
thing.
series.
Here's the thing for me is like if I'm Houston, I'd rather just take a short term solution and get KD and see what that looks like.
Really,
Because it'll cost you less,
it'll cost you much
way less, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you even just giving Phoenix back a couple picks? To be honest.
It could be like Jabari Smith and Jalen Green for KD.
Yeah, and we give you maybe a pick back or 2 if
Yeah,
you're
sure.
desperate.
Yo,
Right?
throwing their own picks back at them is so funny.
Yo, beg for your own pick
That's
back.
like getting store credit on a return.
Yeah. But like, if I'm Houston,
Yeah.
honestly, like, Giannis is a great player, and you know he would improve your team, but we know that they need more just offense.
Yeah, well,
And
the
KD,
offense coming off the bench would be Reed Shepard and Cam
Yeah.
Whitmore as of right now.
KD as your like microwave scorer, like, oh my god.
I mean,
Like,
he's
on
not
that
micro.
team.
He's the number 1 scorer. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
though. You slide KD into that lineup, you're probably still keeping Şengün and Amen Thompson in this scenario.
Okay.
Like, I think I like that option better. And then you still have assets to look at what you could do post KD. Yeah. I actually think if I'm the Rockets, I go for KD.
Wow. All the signaling suggests that they want a younger star to pair with them, but who knows? I mean,
Man,
you know.
KD just makes so much sense for that team.
I hear you. I think
Yeah.
this would actually be a really great destination for KD as well. By the way, KD ending his career as just like a mercenary is kind of weird, man.
But he's
whatever.
been a mercenary. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess once
He was
went to
the
Golden State-
mercenary when he went to Golden State.
I suppose, yeah.
Once again, why was he dancing before Game 5?
I mean, I don't know. That might have been the biggest decision that ever happened at Scotiabank
Legit,
Arena.
that was the last dance.
Oh no, I haven't seen him do that stretch ever since.
Oh
I'm not gonna
my
lie to
God.
you. Would Milwaukee do this trade?
Yes, I think if you get their best picks, I think Milwaukee would do it. Yeah.
So it's for you would be Şengün coming back, Jabari Smith Jr. coming back, Jalen Green, and then like 4 or 5 picks.
I really like Jabari Smith too, man. I know he doesn't
You'd
play
have to
that
pay
much
him.
for them.
The reason I keep throwing him into these is like you'd have to pay him. So like part of his
Yeah.
value drops off a little bit because you'd actually have to take him off.
I
the
feel
rookie
like there's
schedule.
something there with Jabari Smith. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe they'll ask for Reed Shepard too. I don't know. I guess at some point it's
they're not
too
gonna
many
haggle
assets.
over Reed Shepard, man. If you want Reed
Yeah.
Shepard, go ahead, man.
I don't know. I kind of like Reed. Yeah.
Why?
Doing
You know who
nothing
doesn't-
this season.
You know who doesn't like Reed? Their head coach, who has not played him ever.
Oh,
Would Giannis want to do this? If you're Giannis and you're like, I'm going to Houston to be the man,
Yeah.
and I got a different supporting cast with me, is this like the most appealing situation?
If
for
you give me
Giannis?
the option between San Antonio and Houston, I'm taking San Antonio if I'm Giannis.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a no-brainer. Like Wemby like wins over all these conversations.
Giannis would have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Also, Houston, I mean, look, whatever. They'll dominate the paint like crazy, but the outside shooting, every team would zone this team. Every team would hack-a-shack this team. I do feel like the ceiling for this, it would be a really hard road.
Yeah.
If I had to say this.
No,
for
once again,
Giannis's
Houston,
perspective.
just get Kevin Durant, man.
Okay, all right. Houston goes and dances with another all-time forward. Let's
Hmm.
move on to Brooklyn, which is probably
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's my favorite team in this. So the link here is almost entirely one-sided. There's actually
The link is Brian Lewis of the New York Post reporting this
Yes.
for 3 years. Yeah.
I was gonna say this has been reported from Brooklyn's angle for multiple years that Giannis is the Nets' plan A. I read Brian Lewis's latest in the New York Post about this subject, and he described Giannis as Sean Marks' white whale. In which case, I'm like, yo, you can't have two Ahabs because like you can't have Masai and Sean Marks both looking at him as a white whale. But whatever.
Ahab music.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Ahab music. That's kind of far, actually.
Yeah,
That's kind of
I thought Ahab was a hockey player from Montreal, bro.
This is,
Crickets.
yo, this. Oh man. No, I'm
Once
expecting to
again.
hear Devil in a new dress after
Woo.
that.
Pre-medication, baby.
All-time great song. Wow. I mean, I don't know if we should do pods pre. I think we should do post. Brooklyn.
I feel like this has been pretty good.
It's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Chat, let us know, man. Was that too far?
No,
Probably
Chad,
not.
don't let us know. Yeah.
No, let us know, man. Anyway, so Giannis is also Brooklyn's white whale, apparently.
Sure.
Brooklyn's best offer. All right.
What is it, Nick Claxton?
I'm crying at this. Yo. Okay, it's Nick Claxton.
No, you for real?
Yep. Noah Clowney,
No, that's a clown offer, bro. Yeah.
Keon Johnson.
There's no way. Like ninth best Johnson in the league. Yeah.
I don't know if he's a top 10 Johnson. We have to go
Yeah.
back and look at it.
Yeah.
And 8 first-round picks. Apparently, the Nets have 15 firsts to
Okay.
trade.
Do they
I think
own
8 is
other
the
people?
most.
Do they
Yes.
own other
Yeah,
people's picks?
Their own first, other teams first. That is
Okay.
trade. Because if you really break it down, and if we actually show their salary cap table right now, there is nothing else on this team to trade. So if you look at this chart that we're showing here, in 2025-2026, the players under contract are Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, who, I mean, ideally you'd like to keep around of someone for Giannis to play with, Clowney, Whitehead, Keon Johnson with a qualifying offer, Jalen Wilson.
They can offer whitehead, blackhead, yellowhead. It's not gonna matter.
OKC at 5. Maxwell Lewis, Tyrese Martin, Drew Timmy, and those two other guys I think are all on like team options or whatever.
Yeah.
So like essentially Brooklyn only has
Drew
two.
Timmy. Yo. Don't go to San Antonio to play with Wemby. Come play with Timmy, bro. We got Timmy at home.
Brooklyn's team is one of the craziest ones I've seen because they only have 2 guys on guaranteed contracts
Yeah.
for next season as of right now.
First of all, Sean Marks has survived 4 eras of the Nets, and we need to investigate this. Like, how has he been able to go through all of these eras? He was here for the Paul Pierce KG era. He survived that. He was here for the KD Kyrie Harden era. He survived that.
Yep.
And now he's in the Drew Timmy era. Like, I don't get it. For me, unless Giannis is like, yo, I love Park Slope, Brooklyn. Like, I just want to be at Prospect Park.
He's like Biggie was my favorite rapper.
Yeah. He's like, Biggie was the first rapper I discovered when I came here, you know.
He's like, I was listening to Party of Bullshit in Greece.
Yeah. Ursan Ilyasova put me on Junior Mafia and Lil Kim. This is not happening, man. Like, this is not like.
Brooklyn's team is
I
so
don't think
funny.
Brooklyn
It
is
kills me,
even
man.
coming to the table with this. Like,
This is
there's
what they're coming.
no way.
This is
There's
what they're
no
coming
way.
with. Again, there's no other way. Obviously, they have other free agents. Like, they can
Yeah.
re-sign some of their players, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's obviously, like, you know, but that is actually the team as is right now. Like, you actually can't trade any of those free agents, for example. So that's why that's why the trade offer looks like Nick Claxton, Noah Clowney, Keon Johnson, and 8 first-round picks.
Is this a scenario where like Giannis wants to be in New York, but like the Knicks aren't really a trade partner, so he's like, oh, I guess Brooklyn. Like, that's the only way I can rationalize it.
That's the existence of the Brooklyn Nets. Like, the
Yeah.
entire history of the Brooklyn Nets, outside after Jason Kidd and Richard Jefferson and I guess Vince Carter, like that run, or like you know, Kenyon Martin before that, like outside of that run, the entire 20-year history of the Brooklyn Nets recently has just been a leverage play against the Knicks.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't think you have the Knicks on the list. Do you have them on the list? No.
The Knicks are actually not on the list for me.
Okay, but like I guess I don't know what the Knicks could get in with.
Yeah.
Like they don't have any picks left. That's the big problem. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't be on the table.
So my question to you is: Brooklyn a contender with this following lineup? All right.
I think Brooklyn is already eliminated.
Hey, hear me out, man. Okay, so you got Giannis,
Yeah.
Cam Johnson
Yeah.
of the young man in the three. I've been listening to the pod recently. I actually really like Cam Johnson.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell, who you would have to re-sign.
D-Lo. Yeah.
Day'Ron Sharp, who you would have to re-sign.
Yeah.
Name me one fact about Day'Ron Sharp.
His name rhymes with Cameron. Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually okay with that. That's actually pretty good. And Jalen Wilson, who you would have to pick up an option on.
Yeah, no, come on, man. Like
that would be your starting five, hypothetically. Now, granted, Giannis, I mean, Brooklyn does obviously, by virtue of having nobody on their roster, does have a lot of like cap space. So,
Sure.
you know, maybe they choose to extend or re-sign a guy like Cam Thomas. Maybe they don't.
Is there a second star that can go and join Giannis there? That would be the only way. That would be the only way.
I think that's the path. Is you sell him on, we're gonna get like it's like I guess when the Clippers got Kawhi. It's like Kawhi was like, I got to be dead set on going to this destination. So Giannis would have to be, I'm dead set on going to New York, and I will need to have one star come with me because otherwise this thing makes no sense at all.
Yeah, this is too inconceivable for me. Like I can't see him landing in Brooklyn. I don't see it. Yeah. I hate to break Brian Lewis's heart. Shouts to BL. So.
I mean, I wouldn't even ask would Milwaukee do this because I think there's multiple offers that can beat this.
Yeah, I don't think Milwaukee's even considering this.
My question is, what does Brooklyn do if they don't get Giannis? Because I understand this is Plan A, but this might as well be Plan B, C, D, E. Like,
well, they're just gonna have to sign a bunch of guys. Is Tyler Johnson out there for an offer sheet still?
I think they could pay Tyler Johnson again.
I think Brooklyn's gonna become kind of like the Miami Heat. They just kind of flounder around for a couple of years. There's really no path for them.
Yeah, this is basically what the Clippers had essentially when Kawhi went there. Even that's not even true because the Clippers even had a little bit more than this. Because I think at the time they still had like Montrezl Harrell, they still had Lou Williams, they still had I think Zubac. They had Zubac at that time.
Yeah, this is looking tough for. This is
unprecedented. This is like a blank page. This is Giannis saying, "I want to." This is you're just. This is Giannis starting a new pod. You know what I mean? Like this is him starting Hello and Welcome, basically.
I think Brooklyn's offer is so bad in this scenario. I would stay in Milwaukee if I was Giannis.
I don't know if I'd say Milwaukee, but I think Brooklyn.
I don't know. It's that bad.
You'd have to sell me, and I guess that co-star. I mean, if they can find a way to like somehow swindle and get like Devin Booker to join him, maybe you're in a conversation. Yeah. But as of right now, Giannis going solo to the Brooklyn Nets would be unprecedented. I'll say.
What if Sean Marks takes on Dame Lillard's contract as well? And
what's the appeal for Giannis?
They just bet on the return, and then Dame and Giannis run it back in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yo, honestly, that's worse than just running it back in Milwaukee.
The only difference is you get better shawarma and you clear yourself of Kuzma.
You would have to really love New York. I'll say that much.
Yeah, so this is no. Brooklyn is a no for me.
I'm just curious if Brooklyn doesn't get Giannis, what are they going to do? Because
this roster looks Brooklyn
nuts.
Gets Giannis, I'll walk to Brooklyn. Yeah.
Okay, let's not do that, man. Come on, dude. Like that's
that's
so far.
I will walk to Brooklyn.
That might be the farthest any humans walk since like humankind crossed the Bering Strait into North America, man.
We love to make history here.
Yeah. Yo, this is the farthest an Asian has walked literally since an Asian walked from Asia to North America, man.
The crazy thing is my dad wouldn't even respect me. He's like, why didn't you swim?
Yeah, let him swim the Bering Strait.
Someone said walk to north of Brooklyn.
That might be my plan after this pod, man. I think Brooklyn might be able to do this deal if we throw in a couple of vodka Verdes.
Yo, my closest north of Brooklyn only sells like the entire pie and not slices. It's tough. Yeah.
Hey.
Walked in and got rejected the other day. I was like, yo, they don't know I work with Will Liu.
Yo.
I'm just standing there, my welcome, smiling at everyone.
You're just like, you're like tilting the hat.
Yeah, they're like, sir, you gonna order or what, man?
Like, what kind of pizza do you want, man? Yeah. That is kind of weird, though. Why can't you just get a slice? But
yeah, it's fine.
It is what it is.
Not everyone can live close to Geary.
That is true. Shouts to what's it called, man? Not Good Behavior.
Yeah, Good Behavior is around there too.
Good Behavior is around there, but what's that bar called? Holy,
Oh,
forgetting this?
grapevine? Something grapevine?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Crickets.
Next trade, the Miami Heat. They just get thrown into every potential star trade, so
Yeah.
I'm going to throw them in here as well. The benefit is no state income tax. It's South Beach, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, if Giannis ends up in Milwaukee and Dame gets stuck in
No, brother.
if Giannis goes to Miami and Dame gets stuck in Milwaukee, it would be the
Might hurt more
funniest
than the
outcome
divorce.
possible.
Might hurt more than the divorce. Yeah.
That might be a second divorce, man.
brother.
That is actually crazy.
Brother.
By the way, Miami would be one of those teams I feel like would actually take Dame back in a double package.
Yeah, I'm starting to like the double pack.
Miami's like, yo, what else do we have? What's better to do? So Miami's best offer to Milwaukee would be Tyler Hero, who has 2 more years on his contract at $32 million.
Yeah.
Just made the All-Star team, by the way. Andrew Wiggins, 2 years left at $30 million a year. I guess was on an MVP or a championship-winning team. You're getting Khalil Ware. Okay?
Yeah, I like Khalil. That's my guy. Yeah.
2026 first, 2028 first, 2030, 2032. So 4 first-round picks to slap in there. That's
You
not
can't be my
terrible.
hero, baby. No, it's not happening, bro.
It's not happening, yeah.
An offer headlined by Tyler Hero and Andrew Wiggins.
Well, what about
That's
Khalil
like
Ware?
that's like the worst guy you know in your fantasy league trying to make a move, bro. Like,
Yeah, I think the league, by the way, has collectively said no to Tyler Hero many times. I feel like he's been thrown into trade
and Tyler
package
Hero
every
is a
year.
fine enough player, but
He's
he
fine.
just
Yeah, totally.
he cannot headline a blockbuster deal.
Isn't Tyler Hero from Wisconsin?
Sure, yeah. No, Miami's not in this
I
conversation.
guess that's not a relevant question in this situation.
Miami is not in the conversation for me. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what if they throw in Bam?
No. Yeah.
Oh wow, Hero was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Well, he can
Graduated
walk
from
in,
Whitnell High School in Greenfield, Wisconsin.
yeah. No, the Miami's out of these conversations. Like, I swear to God, if Sleepy Pat pulls something, out of his hat this summer and gets a superstar, I'll be super impressed. Because
No, man.
I do not see a path for that happening.
I don't even want to be dark, but I mean, Pat Riley, if he pulls this off, I'd be genuinely impressed. I think obviously Pat Riley has pulled off many star acquisitions in the past, but it just doesn't this doesn't even come close to the best trade package. I'm not gonna lie to you. With all due respect to the players
To be
involved.
honest, the guy that
You
I could
compare
see
this to
them-
what Houston's trade package was, or what San Antonio's trade package, it's not close.
I can see them pulling off KD. Yeah. I think
Oh,
KD
yeah.
is a lesser scale, so I think maybe that's something that they pursue, but I don't think they're in the Giannis conversation at all.
What are they giving for KD? Andrew Wiggins, Khalil Ware, and a pack of chips? Duncan Robinson?
Why does it sound like they're just offering food? Dunkin' Donuts, Duncan Robinson. Heat in 5. Honestly, I don't know, but yeah, I'll see what Sleepy Pat can do, man. I think we should never doubt him, but it's looking real bleak in Miami.
Would this leftover roster be a contender? Giannis, Bam, Duncan Robinson,
This roster wasn't even a contender to begin with, and will not be a contender afterwards.
Davion Mitchell, if you re-sign him. I think they'll have restricted rights, and Nikola Jovic with Haywood Highsmith, Terry Rozier, and all I wrote in my notes was NIHAO, which stands for Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, Terry Rozier, currently under investigation, I believe. Yeah. So no, Miami is a real depressing team to talk about at the moment.
They just won 37 games. I think that's the real issue.
It's a really depressing team right now.
Man, that's
So
tough, man.
so no to the Heat. Yeah.
Someone asked, would Davion Mitchell be Miami's third best player after that deal? And the answer is, I don't know. He's in contention.
He'll let
if
you
you
know
get that playoff Davion Mitchell that we just saw, then yeah, absolutely. But
he'll let you know about it on Twitter. Yeah.
he absolutely would. Miami, they're just nominally on this list. I don't think this is not close. And Giannis would really want to go to Miami. Even then, I don't think Milwaukee should do this deal. OKC, the last one. I think this is the ultimate trump card here. The sell for Giannis to OKC would just be you're playing for a guaranteed contender. Yes, it's out west, but the team as is with Giannis would be, even in an age where dynasties no longer exist, that would be a dynasty. We're talking Ming, we're talking Ching, we're talking.
Whoa,
you know
whoa!
what I mean?
would you just call me?
Ching? Man.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
QING. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
No, we talking that
King? Yeah.
no, that's
King's Key? Yeah.
that's not where you live, bro. Like that's the sell is you're guaranteed to be joining the best team. This will honestly be on par with like KD joining the Warriors level of like
Yeah,
just running to go there to grab a ring, which obviously the big difference is KD did not have a ring at that time and Giannis does already have a ring.
Let's let OKC try to win this ring first before we talk dynasties.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'm just gassed off of a 1-0 right now.
Yeah,
OKC's best offer. And you could throw out a lot of different offers in this, but one potential offer would be Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, Isaiah Joe for the money, and 8 firsts.
Isaiah Hartenstein, Isaiah Joe, Isaiah Thomas. OKC in 4. Man, I mean, we putting iHeart in there? Okay. Because you're saying Chet is the centerpiece.
You need the money. Hart has like I think.
I'm asking for one more blue chipper other than Chet. Who else can they offer?
One more blue chipper?
Yeah.
You twist my arm. I'll take.
Case and Wallace.
I'll take 2 firsts off the table. I'll give you Case and Wallace.
No, but the 2 firsts got to stay as well. Yeah.
No, you're not getting Chet. No, there's no comparable offer to Chet, Case and Wallace, Isaiah Hartenstein, Isaiah Joe, and 8 first-round picks, man.
Damn.
There just isn't. Like, there's not a. You know what I mean?
That sounds delicious. Yeah, that's a great offer. Yeah.
That would be kind of nuts of a trade offer.
Yeah. Do we love Chet like that? Yeah.
I mean, Chet's pretty great, man. Chet's pretty great. Chet is actually an ideal guy to put with Giannis. Okay. So
Bill Simmons' voice. Are we sure Chet is good? Yeah.
Would you rather give up Chet or J-Dub?
J-Dub. Yeah. Like if I'm OKC, I want to keep Chet. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll swap it out then. You're getting J-Dub instead of Chet.
I think J-Dub is a false number 2 option. Yeah.
Wow. Even after what he did in Game 7, with a bunch of steals.
Yeah. Did he get all that in garbage time? Yeah.
He made it garbage time by playing great.
Okay. He Katie Nolan now.
What? I didn't even know
garbage time with Katie Nolan. Oh, come on.
Oh, sorry.
All right. That's all right. No more jokes. Yeah, that's a great offer. I think the picks are appealing. Is Chet the best player the Bucks can get?
And in the list that we've mentioned so far, I mean, I guess we talked about Amin Thompson.
Would you rather have Dylan Harper or Chet?
I'd rather have Chet.
Really?
Yeah, Chet's really good, man.
I think the San Antonio offer is pretty good too. This is a great offer. This is
objectively a great offer.
Yeah, I'm overthinking it. This is a great offer. Yeah.
The only question is OKC actually going to do this? Because OKC just doesn't actually trade out picks.
I think it really depends. It really depends on how the rest of the playoffs go.
Okay, that's fair. Like if they win the championship, maybe they're just like, I'm happy to roll it as is.
Yeah, but you never know what Presti thinks. Maybe winning the championship will embolden him to make the move because he's like, oh, I've got a title now. Let's go. Let's like double down here and add Giannis. So I don't know because like Sam Presti, he's his own dude. But yeah, you're right though. They've notoriously been they just hug their picks, right? Like they don't make like this would be a very uncharacteristic move by OKC. So I think it really depends if they win the championship.
By the way, Shea and Giannis on the same team, they might shoot more free throws than entire other opposing teams.
Yeah, I will quit watching the NBA.
Yo, the amount of free throws and the amount of drives would be kind of nuts.
Oh my god. This is a great offer.
Their leftover roster would be Shea, Giannis, one of Chet or J-Dub. Let's say Chet, and for me, I'd rather. Yeah. I might rather keep Chet over J-Dub in this situation.
Oh, that's a no-brainer for me.
Okay, so Shea, Giannis, Chet, Caruso, Lou Dort is your starting 5. Come on.
Yeah, I mean you're ready to roll. Yeah, 79 and 15 season loading.
Goodness, man. This is an absurd team. I'm sorry. The craziest part is out of all the trades that we talked about in this potential sort of discussion, OKC's the one team that's like, I may not do this. Every other team is like, give me Giannis, run me Giannis, whatever. Maybe we don't have enough, but we'll at least sort of entertain it. OKC's is the one position where they're like, I don't know if we need Giannis, which is a crazy position to be in.
I think that's fair. Maybe they just do a little KD reunion and just call it a day. So yeah, no, OKC's offer would be competitive. They could probably get to a point where they beat out everyone's offer. I would say the top contenders would be OKC, Houston, and San Antonio here, right?
Yeah. But I mean, especially having done this discussion, like Toronto's offer doesn't look that bad. Like, we're not really
No,
out of the discussion. You know what I
they're
mean? If
not.
it's really like
Yeah,
one or two teams that are actually interested in doing this, and Toronto's in that mix, it's not that uncompetitive.
it's really if the Raptors are willing to put Scotty in the
Yeah,
deal,
of course. Yeah,
and also how the Bucks view Scotty.
right.
I think it really does, and all the other factors that we've talked about. But
For sure.
I
For
think
sure.
that's really the deal breaker. There is like
Yeah.
which player, if picks are equal amongst some of the other trades, like which player does Milwaukee covet? Maybe
Yeah.
they don't care. Maybe they just want picks. Like
Maybe,
picks is more important to them. I don't know.
it depends, honestly, because I mean, I don't know what Milwaukee does next if they ultimately move on, but it's not going to look good and it's going to be painful either way. So, yeah, that's kind of that. Those are the main trades. I think there's other teams that you can maybe throw into this, like Golden State. I just don't think they have enough.
Yeah.
Even though Giannis is currently in in San Francisco right now.
Yeah, he's doing some Andre Iguodala tech conference stuff.
He's at like the Google headquarters or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
big deal. I've been to the Google headquarters.
Savior. Oh, whoa.
You
Big
don't
flex.
think I've been to the
yeah.
Google campus, man? Come on,
Big
dog.
flex. Big flex.
You know,
yeah.
did I get a free lunch there because I was Asian and they thought I was working there? Absolutely, man.
Is that really what happened?
That's absolutely what happened. I'm not
Yo,
kidding. This is
and
back
they-
in like 2013.
And they say there's no such thing as a free lunch. They lied.
There is I mean there is
Yeah.
if you're in Silicon Valley. I think that's like a
Yeah.
universal standard as you get free lunch and
Marxism.
unlimited vacation.
Um,
I think what else, man? I think which other teams could potentially LA Clippers. I don't think they have enough to really give up because they don't really have much. Memphis. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I just don't see.
I don't think
Giannis
Giannis would
wanting
want to go
Memphis.
to Memphis. Yeah.
What else are Atlanta actually could be kind of intriguing, honestly. Atlanta does have a lot of like flexible pieces.
Imagine if Atlanta gets Masai and Giannis.
That might have to be a combo deal. Maybe that's what they're thinking with the Masai
Yeah,
pursuit.
then we gotta just invade no dunks for a month. Yeah.
I might, yeah. You know what? Honestly, we might just have to pivot to being an Atlanta Hawks pod. Caw.
Magic City Hour.
Indiana Pacers would actually Loki have a pretty good trade offer for well, pretty good. I don't know. I don't think it'll beat out the number 2 pick or Amon Thompson or let's say J-Dub.
They'd have to put like Halliburton on the table or something, man.
Well, the idea would be to put Halliburton with Giannis. Unfortunately, that will require a second star besides Pascal to say yes to going to the Pacers, which you never know, man. Yes, sirs, these days. I think Cleveland, I think there was a discussion. I think people were like, maybe Evan Mobley for Giannis. That doesn't even work.
That
Cleveland
was a Bill Simmons idea.
Yeah, come on, man. You'd have to see Evan Mobley the way that Bill Simmons and the Ringer staff see Evan Mobley.
Oh my God.
Cleveland's also in the second apron, so they actually can't make that trade straight up. And they can't aggregate salaries for this, so I actually don't think they'd have to make a separate trade, get themselves out of the second apron into the first apron, and then make a second trade to get Giannis potentially maybe even bumping back into that. It's just too complicated. It's kind of the similar deal with the Boston Celtics, who also have too much money committed. So, Philadelphia, by the way, will be kind of crazy.
Yeah, Philly. What are they gonna offer? There's the number 3 pick.
And beat a number 3 for Giannis.
Oh my God. No, man. Embiid that's a distressed asset, man. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a stressed and distressed asset.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a challenge trade. Come on,
Embiid,
dog.
Embiid, no, that's a VAR trade, man. The Embiid would not make my top 100 on my trade value.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man.
Look at that contract.
I mean,
on.
just don't worry, man. This next knee injury surgery is gonna fix it, man.
He would not make my top 100.
One more knee surgery and he's good.
Have some Giannis trivia for you.
All right, let's do it.
Can you name? So he was taken 15th in the
Yes.
2013 draft.
Oh,
Do you know this? Can you name the player that was drafted before him and after him?
before him?
Yeah,
Like
so
the-
number 14 was a pick by the Utah Jazz, which they traded to Minnesota, a forward from UCLA.
I'm gonna hide the chat. Hold on. Let me hide the chat.
Yeah, hide the chat.
Let me
Don't
hide
worry,
the
chat's fighting about something. Yeah.
I thought I was gonna say Steven Adams, but I guess
So
OKC
Steven
was a couple
Adams
picks
went
before.
number 12.
Okay.
Kelly Olynyk went number 13.
Kelly Olynyk got drafted before Giannis. Yo, that's crazy. I should have asked
Yeah.
Kelly about
Well,
that. in
so did
Toronto.
KCP, Ben McLemore, and Trey Burke, Alex
Oh, man.
Len,
Wow,
Cody
he was-
Zeller.
Yeah, they were popping tags with Ben McLemore.
Um,
Crickets.
So,
Hitting the crickets on myself is crazy.
so yeah,
UCLA forward.
Yeah. UCLA forward. You definitely
was
know this
picked
player.
by Minnesota.
Associate him with
Shabazz
the Wolves.
Muhammad?
There you go. Shabazz Muhammad.
Wow. Yo, Shabazz Muhammad got in trouble because in the rookie symposium, like at Summer League, they put the rookies through like a series of like seminars essentially to be like how to operate now that your life is different. Now you're an NBA player. And I think one of the seminars was like, how to approach like relationships, just because you're kind of at like you're a famous NBA player now. You know what I mean? Like you got to understand how to deal with relationships. And I think he was late for it because I think he was like caught with like somebody in his room or something. I don't know.
Oh
man.
my god.
Just look it up. Shabazz Muhammad. Funny start to his career, but Shabazz was kind of talented, a little lefty.
Yeah, a little buzzy player.
I don't know if he's better than Giannis, but
So Giannis goes 15th. And then, actually, I'm going to change the trivia here. The next two players are former Raptors. So number 16.
Who drafted? Which team did they get drafted to?
Number 16 drafted by Boston, traded to Atlanta.
Boston traded.
So he starts his career in Atlanta.
DeAndre Bembry.
Bebe Nogueira.
Bebe Nogueira. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Bebe. Yeah, that came with the Lou Williams trade. That was sick.
And then Atlanta also has the next pick at number 17.
Players that we've gotten from Atlanta?
He's a guard. Point guard, starts his career in Atlanta.
That
Raptor
we also
show
had on the Raptors.
regular.
Dennis Schroeder?
Yep, Dennis Schroeder went 17.
Okay.
Yeah, if we keep going,
That's actually not a bad pick.
Shane Larkin.
Oh, man. Turkish legend.
Sergei Karasev.
That's what the Leafs should sign to replace
Tony Snell at 20.
Oh, well, yeah, Tony Snell 20 is fair value, honestly.
Put up a 20 that night.
I thought you were going to ask me which were the players drafted before Giannis, because that's kind of a nuts list. Like, I think this was the Anthony Bennett draft, right?
Yeah, this was the AB draft.
Oladipo goes 2.
Oladipo second. Former Raptor Otto Porter Jr. goes third.
Oh, wow.
Cody Zeller.
Is this Alex Len's draft or not?
Yep, former Raptor Alex Len goes fifth.
God damn, yo, the Raptors have had every player in this draft except Giannis.
It's honestly pretty crazy the amount of Raptors content.
Kelly, we got Dennis Schroeder.
The amount of Raptors content on this is kind of crazy.
We got every player except Giannis.
Also, I guess every draft takes place in Brooklyn, but I guess the theory is maybe Giannis is like, ooh, I got drafted in Brooklyn. So many great memories here at Barclays. I want to be a Net when I grow up. I don't know, man.
What's the Nets mascot, by the way, man? Like how they have Mr. Met?
Yeah, they used to have like a superhero guy, but I think they had to ban him. Yeah.
Really?
It was like a superhero. Yeah, I should know this.
It's like,
yeah.
Mr. Met is one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, Mr. Met with the booty. Yeah.
Mr. Met and Mrs. Met is
and
crazy.
Mrs. Met. Yeah.
I actually love that. Like the fact that they're just
birthday,
baseballs.
Mr. President.
Yo, that's a crazy visual, man.
So to conclude this Giannis buffet, so Giannis did a Q&A.
Yes.
On an AMA on Twitter. I miss these, man. More guys used to do this.
Yeah, of course.
Like more players used to do this, but
I think Twitter just fell off, unfortunately.
Now it's just all stay sponsored, player specific media, all this stuff. So
yeah, that's fair.
Just want to bring you some highlights from this so we can get to know Giannis a little better. So let's roll these, Jerome. So first one is he was asked favorite city to play in on the road. No surprise here. He said New York. Like I think for most players, like I think Madison Square Garden is the pick. Which other?
Oh, you don't think this means Barclays Center?
Oh my God, which other arenas gets that type of love? I feel like it's always New York.
But okay, having gone to MSG, I'm sure you've been to MSG many times, considering you used to work out in New York as an NBA reporter.
Yeah, I was there during the Kyle O'Quinn era. Yeah.
Was he also drafted before Giannis?
I was there during the KOQ era.
Oh man, you were there for KO, and you're not talking Kelly Olynyk, man.
Used to sit next to Darren Rovell all the time. Confirmed this man has 2 phones. Yeah. This guy charging both phones at the same time. He's crazier than me because you were making fun of me last Friday.
Yeah.
When we were out for Joseph Casharo's birthday, you're like, who the hell lives locally and brings out an external charger?
This is not a surprise to me because obviously, we worked together for a very long time.
Yeah.
You always have a portable charger for your phone.
Yo.
Which in the past I was like, okay, you had an old phone, like you were rocking with like an iPhone 9 for like a long time.
Yeah.
But then recently you switched. Like I think you got like a 14 or something.
No, man, I'm still on an 11. Yeah.
Okay, you're on an 11.
Shout out to Google for sending me the pixel. I still need to activate that.
Yeah, I'll do that for you. But like, the 11 is perfectly fine. Like in terms of like battery life or whatever, even now. But like the fact that you roll around. By the way, okay, so two things. Number one, you always have a portable battery pack on you at all times. It's not even
juice. The juice. The action is the juice, baby.
Nah, you're OJ Simpson the way you.
The juice is loose.
You don't even have one of those portable battery chargers that like automatically stick to the back, like magnetic charging. Like you have a cable with 2 blocks, like So that's number one. Number two, you have battery saver on when your phone's at like 90%.
It's always yellow. Yeah.
Yo,
it was all yellow.
It was always yellow, but it's at like 90. I don't understand.
Yo, dude, man, I gotta keep it 100 always, man. Like, with my opinions and with my phone, man, I keep it 100. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't understand.
All I got is my phone battery and my opinions, man. And I keep
chat.
them
Let us know if it's a little while to travel within the city that you reside in.
Yeah.
On everyday activities like walking.
Yeah, literally
around
going from near Rogers Center to Corktown on King East.
Yeah. It is.
To be fair, I was streaming the basketball game for you guys, and that was a lot of juice.
Okay, again, most fully charged phones can stream a basketball game for an hour and a half and still have lots of battery left over, man.
Maybe I shouldn't have streamed the Jays game as well.
Man, maybe I gotta set up this pixel for you, man. That's gonna change your life. I'm not gonna kid you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
New York.
Yeah,
Is there any other arena that gets this type of love? Because I feel like the answer is always New York.
MSG does have crazy aura. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Great aura, great lighting.
Like, you're walking up the steps. You're walking up to the arena. It's on like the 5th floor or whatever.
Yeah. Listen,
the lighting is cool.
Scotiabank
Knicks
Arena in
fans
its
are cool.
prime. I'm not saying it's at the top, but I think
word?
it got a lot. It got a lot of love. Like LeBron definitely showed love. When he was here.
Oh, I know why LeBron loved playing at Scotiabank.
Oh, baby.
Put those wins in the bank.
The crowds were great here during those runs.
Oh yeah, no, the crowds are always great, man.
But I wouldn't put Scotiabank Arena even at its prime, like at the top.
MSG? Nah.
Yeah, I think MSG's got.
It doesn't hit the same when you come out of Union. You walk through like a labyrinth. You end up at gate 1.
Hey, Union.
There's
Union
that security
food court,
guard who's like
Union
yelling
food court,
people.
I gotta say, it's stepped up, man.
Oh, Giannis, listen, if you want to come to Toronto, man, we got Shanghai 360 within walking distance.
Yeah, we got
we have
Mike's.
Roy
Jersey
Woods.
Mike's, baby. Yeah.
We got
Some
what
Jersey
do we have?
Mike's.
We got Shake Shack. Shake Shack just built
Yo,
one
they got,
in
they
Toronto.
got 47 different subs at Jersey Mike's, man.
We got Bing's. Bing's is gonna open. All right, that's a Chinese
Bing's
Chinese
with
hamburger.
a Z, man. Yeah,
Bing's.
that's my nephew's favorite. Yeah.
We got Bing's with a Z coming soon. Okay.
Yeah. Bing Bing. Yeah.
We have.
You want Bing Bing or Bing Bong, man?
We got Kibo Sushi after 6 p.m. I think it's like 30% off.
Cash and carry.
You know what I mean? We got Versed.
Oh, Verse, yeah. The Glizzies.
I'm on my Verse behavior. Don't you ever get it fucked
This
up.
guy's on his Verse behavior, and it's just 2 lamb sausages.
What else we have in that? Okay, we have Sensote ramen.
Oh yeah. We got
Joe Wolfon's favorite.
You got some Blondie's pizza.
We got Blondie's down
Yeah,
there. We got McDonald's. We
Blondie's.
got
Egg Club.
Bao. Giannis, man. Number one place
Yeah.
to be is at Union Station.
We got some
man.
random pierogies place. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We have that egg sandwich place, Egg
Yo,
Club.
you want Shake Shack, man? We got Shake Shack here too, man.
Man, oh man.
Come on, man.
What else we
Yeah.
got down there, man? Tim Hortons,
Yeah.
That's Thai Express. You want Thai Express?
Woo! Damn. Yo,
there's that shawarma place there as well.
Also
There's
the
like 3
Well. The
sushi
Well's got
places.
a crazy food court too, man.
Giannis, where do you want to be other than
We
man?
We got Gus Tacos now in the building. Yeah. Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
man. We got, hey, Giannis, if you take that subway, guess what? Service will be active on line 1, but
we
not
got
necessarily line 2.
Cabana sandwiches or whatever. Oh my God.
Oh, my
Island
God. Man.
Foods, you want a ting, bro? Yeah.
Yo, selling Toronto to people is crazy, man.
Holy shit. All right, New York, that was his pick. All right, what
Yeah,
we got
New York's his
next?
pick, yeah. There you go.
What else did he tell us? So he was asked his first jersey that he had as a kid.
Woo.
And fake Carmelo Anthony Denver jersey. Obviously, he grew up in Greece.
Mm.
Didn't come from a lot of money. So why am I judging? No, I mean to say that obviously his first jersey was a fake. Yeah. Like, I'm not surprised.
I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite? What's your first NBA jersey?
So the first one I begged my parents to buy me was Shaq, Orlando Magic. Yeah.
Ooh, the
Shaq,
pinstripe?
baby blue, or the blue that they had. Yeah.
Blue pinstripe. Shaq.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that's
Shaq
a
was
sick
my
jersey.
first. Yeah, that was my first. What about you? Probably a fake DeMar DeRozan. Yeah.
So I'm not even kidding. So okay, we come from slightly different backgrounds, and so I never asked my parents to buy me an NBA jersey, but my one of my roommates in university, we used to like watch some like sports together. He obviously realized I was a huge NBA fan, and so. He bought like I think it was like AliExpress or something at that time. Like it wasn't like Amazon. This is like 2012 range. So like I guess like I guess a lot of online like shopping just like started at that time. So he got like AliEx. Like he like went to India and he like came back with a couple jerseys for as a gift for me.
Was
So
your
he got
roommate Vivek Jacob?
No, it wasn't.
Well,
Vivek
who will
Jacob.
be joining us on Friday? Yeah.
Okay. I love Big V, man. Let's go. But he came back with the following. He gave me a DeMar DeRozan jersey. Obviously,
Nice.
these are all fakes. A
Nice.
DeMar DeRozan jersey.
But did they look real though? Like, or when you put it on, are you like, oh shit, this looks like a fake?
A phantom. What's that? That's gonna look like a phantom until a real phantom pull up or whatever.
God,
Like,
yeah.
it
Okay,
was on
so
that
DeMar,
level.
so DeMar DeRozan Raptors.
DeMar DeRozan Raptors jersey,
Yeah,
red. I got a Tim Duncan jersey, but I swear is not real. Not even just like I know they're fakes, but it was
Yeah.
like a black and gold Spurs
Oh, a little
jersey.
gold trim. Yeah.
I don't think that's a real jersey that San Antonio ever had. So I
Okay,
think this
okay.
is just like a fake jersey on two levels. But a Tim Duncan 15 black and gold jersey.
Nice.
And a DeMarcus Cousins
Wow.
Sacramento Kings purple
Yeah.
jersey. So
Wow.
shouts to my boy, man. That was a real touching gift. I did wear
Yeah.
all three jerseys. at one
Sexy
point.
Beast is shaking his head right now, man.
These are the fakest jerseys we've
Oh
ever
my
seen.
God.
But,
Sexy Beast is like, I'm
yeah.
pulling out Andrew Nemhard jerseys, and this guy's just on AliExpress.
Hey man, listen. You know what jersey I think Sexy Beast will want? Giannis's fake Carmelo Denver jersey.
Wow. Yeah, true.
That's a holy grail actually.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Sick of Giannis. All right, what else? What else did he tell us on this AMA? Yeah, so he was asked his favorite All-Star moment, and he said the famous 2020 in Chicago last 4 minutes with Kyle Lowry.
Wow.
So that's, because Kyle Lowry caught a lot of flack that game for
Oh, yeah, for
trying
sure.
and taking charges, and it's like
Yeah.
that's literally the last great All-Star game that we all remember. So
Yeah.
put some respect on Kyle.
That was elite. I think that was the first time I think they did the drafts for the team. I think that really hit.
Yeah, it was like Team Giannis and Team Steph, I want to say. I don't know. Or Braun.
Something like that. Yeah.
Braun
probably
was
the
always
Braun.
in it. Yeah, probably Braun.
Braun. But yeah, that was super competitive. It was. Yeah, I mean, the teams are also just really stacked. I remember Giannis being a poor GM. Like the guys he drafted to his team were not good. I think he took like
Yeah.
Chris Middleton over. Well, I mean, he had to. That's his teammate. But like,
Yeah, this was this was like 6 weeks before COVID. So yeah, it's good times. What
that
else
was
did
great
he?
times, man.
What else did Giannis say here? So Giannis, best trash talker, Kevin Garnett. No surprise here.
Has there been another trash talker even remotely on the level of KG since KG retired?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, I think KG was probably the last like premium. I mean, do you count Draymond Green as a trash talker?
What's Draymond's like? I mean, okay, Draymond's best trash talk moment is probably Paul Pierce when he said,
Oh, yeah, retirement
you know,
tours like they don't love you like that, right?
"Yeah, you thought you was Kobe," but
Yeah.
I mean, you're trash talking Clippers Paul Pierce on the bench.
Yeah.
During
so
a
I'm
free
not-
throw that you're
yeah,
not
I'm
even taking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put Draymond in this category. Yeah,
KG
so-
was different because he was willing to say shit that like would
Personal.
literally get you canceled. Yeah,
personal. Yeah.
yeah, like the stuff KG was saying was just not. It was not even right, man.
Yeah,
Like,
look
that's
up
not
KG
fair.
Mello, look up KG Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Look up KG on all fours crawling in front of
Calderon?
Jose Calderon. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a deep cut Raptors memory, man. That made me so mad. Yeah. Slapping that damn
We also lost to Boston for like I swear like 12 straight times.
slapping that
minimum.
damn Bob Cousy parquet floor. Yeah. All right, what else, Giannis? Oh, favorite music genre, heavy metal.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, this guy's a Metallica, Pantera. Yeah.
Really, eh?
Is that bread? Yeah, so I'm surprised by this. Yeah, who put him on heavy metal? Ursan Ilyasova?
I mean, he has been in Milwaukee for a
Because
decade.
most NBA guys, like, they get their music taste from being
Yeah.
in the locker room, right? And I don't.
Sure, yeah.
The NBA doesn't feel like a
What,
heavy
who
metal.
did you want him to say? NBA young boy? Like, Giannis is like, yo, I love young boy, man. Like,
By the way, why is he named NBA Young Boy? Like, I don't get
it's
it.
just
Yeah.
the name. Yeah.
Okay. Does this imply the existence of WNBA Young Girl?
Potentially. Yeah, that'd be kind of fire, actually.
Wah, wah.
40-year-old gives his take on NBA young boy.
God, this Angel
Yeah,
Reese.
you know
Caitlin
who's
Clark,
not an
man.
NBA young boy?
This Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, man.
Oh, man. Every time
Yeah, heavy metal. Pretty surprised by that.
Yeah, I wonder which former teammate put him on. Like, is this like a Mike Dunleavy? Well, actually, no. Did Mike Dunleavy play for them? No. He did spear Mike Dunleavy.
Yeah,
that's one of my first
he
Giannis moments. Was like,
definitely did
whoa.
that. And now Mike Dunleavy's gonna try to trade for him. All right. Giannis also was asked his favorite perfume, and he said Joe Malone, Cypress, and Grapevine. I don't know.
Nah,
what
you're
that
gonna have to
means.
explain this to me, man.
What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite scent yourself? Yeah.
I don't really wear cologne that much.
Okay. You smell? Yeah.
No, I just
Oh, just deodorant? Yeah.
Yeah, just I think.
Oh, just
taking
raw
showers.
dogging, just raw dogging your smell. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, like I don't have like it's not okay. People have different levels of bo, right? I think that's fair to say. I'm definitely on the low end.
Okay.
But
So you smell. Yeah. You stink.
I don't know. I as an
No,
impulse
I've
buy,
never caught.
I
I've never caught bo from you.
There you go. And we've spent so much time
Yeah,
together.
I've never caught bo.
I was buying a tux for a friend's. It was Mark Savel's wedding.
Oh yeah.
I bought a
yeah.
tux to attend his wedding at Banana Republic, and I bought.
And you returned it after.
No, I actually kept it.
Okay.
It was only $600. So
Oh,
I actually,
whoa!
yeah,
Lease
it was
tickets.
on
Yeah,
discount.
Whoa.
But I did impulse buy a Banana Republic perfume while I was
Oh,
waiting for them
nice.
to pack it up.
But you
So
don't wear it anymore.
No, I
Like,
wear
you
it.
don't
These,
wear it
I wear it
frequently.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Respect that.
Hey, let's go, unscented hypoallergenic gang.
That's not a gang.
That's a gang. My
That's-
gang
this
is
is too-
unscented
it's-
hypoallergenic.
It's you and Spam Dunk 87. That's not a
Me
gang.
and Spam Dunk 87, man. We're
that's
not
not-
causing no
that's-
allergies.
that's
We're
not
not
a gang.
smelling bad. We just smell neutral.
No. I gotta defend my boy. Like Will's a great smelling person, man.
All right, what
I
are
don't
you
wanna- I
wearing?
don't
You
want-
do wear cologne a decent amount.
Yeah, I read this thing called Dead Cool. I think it's from Sephora. Yeah.
Dead cool.
Actually,
from
there
Sephora.
was like a we were at Bar 222. Shouts to
Yeah,
Ossington.
of course.
And there was like just I was going to the washroom.
Yeah.
And then there was a random lady who stepped out like into the hallway, and she smelled really good. So I
Okay.
asked her what she was wearing, and she told me the
Nah,
brand,
that's
gave me
Riz,
the
bro.
link.
That's
and then I bought
Riz.
it.
That's
No,
Riz. Let's
that's
go.
not Riz.
Yo,
man.
W Riz in the chat for
That's
Alex
not- that's
Wong,
not
man.
Riz, man.
Yo,
That's
coming out
not
the
Riz.
bathroom being like, oh, you
Yo,
smell so
chill.
good. What is that?
Yo, I'm gonna die alone. It's cool, man. It's
That's
cool,
W-
guys.
nah, that's
we're just
W Riz.
we're just here to talk basketball.
Cover more moves like this, you're good. Man.
Yeah, Dead Cool, I think is the brand, but I'm not sure what specific it. And you make fun of me for carrying the battery pack, right?
Yeah.
I also carry the full cologne with me.
Yeah, you do carry the whole bottle of cologne, like not one of those like little joints that you can like.
No.
pull into.
No.
Yeah, that's actually W Riz, so good for you, man. So what's it, Alex a dog?
Arf, arf, arf.
That's crazy.
All right, next up, what else did Giannis share? Oh yeah, so he was asked about 4 other current NBA players you would bring to fight a silverback gorilla. I guess this person also said no, in the middle of a jungle with no weapons. And he said,
Why
me,
is it a jungle, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Me, Steven Adams, Ivica Zubac, Zach Edey, Nikola Jokic. Did he miss any obvious picks here, you think? I feel like that's a pretty good lineup.
I think we universally drafted Draymond into this.
James Johnson.
James Johnson, I think, could be. I mean, I think he's drafting for pure size.
Yeah, big man here. I think he has a pretty. Zach Edey though.
Man, what's
I don't know.
Jokic gonna do, man? Hit the gorilla with a no look
Yo, he's
pass?
gonna grab the guy's arm like Jay Will.
Yeah, he's
Be
gonna
like, yo,
he's gonna jump on him for a foul.
Scott Foster foul. Yeah, I think Edey's first to go in this scenario. Edey might get snapped.
Once again, Asian Heritage Month. Not
Yeah,
doing well on this show.
Asian Heritage Month is down bad, but I think Edey's getting snapped here.
Yo, this one's killing me, man. Bradley Beal from the contract.
Oh my god.
They're like, you can't no trade your way out of this
Oh
one.
my god. Yeah, Edey's first to go in this
Yo,
scenario.
Giannis hitting the gorilla with what's that? What's his move? Man?
What is it even, man?
Yo, what's the
Yo,
sophomore
Giannis got-
shuffle? He's
Giannis-
like, turn around.
Giannis got no bag. All right. Anything else?
Steven
You have
Adams would
more?
actually do incredible though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then he was asked of all the cities you've been to, what city made you the happiest? Not counting your hometown, Florida cities.
Okay, all right, man. All
Crazy
right.
immigrant answer.
Florida City.
So Orlando and Miami for him, I guess. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not gonna lie that Florida's not like a tourist destination or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he might have had a great time at like Disneyland or something. Maybe Universal Studios.
I don't even know. That's like Brooke Lopez's thing.
Maybe he drove to like Key West or whatever. Like
Yeah.
my family's done like trips to Miami and stuff like that. Like, it's
Sure.
fun, you know. But like, not just Florida cities is killing me. It could be anywhere. It could be Jacksonville.
Oh man, not
It
not
definitely wasn't
Jayville.
Jacksonville.
Not Jayville over here, man.
Florida
Holy-
cities is killing me, man.
Yeah, that's actually one
Shouts
of his.
to Florida. I mean,
that's his
out of
crazy
all
answer.
the cities, though, does this mean in the NBA or just in the world? Because like, in the world,
I'm
there's
guessing
no way
more. I'm
Florida
guessing
should
it's
be.
more of like an NBA thing. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, we got a couple more here. We got some food stuff.
Okay.
So he was asked fried chicken or pizza, and he said neither. Basically, he said none. Yeah.
Wow.
So no fried chicken
Wow.
and no pizza. So what does that knock off if he comes to Toronto?
Oh, Union Station, no problem, man. Chinese food is still there. So Shanghai
Yeah.
360, you're still up.
So
Thai
no,
Express, you're still up.
So north of Brooklyn is off the table. Fresca's
Yeah.
off the table. All
Okay.
pizza. All pizza.
All pizzas out the. I guess Blondie's
PG
is off
Clucks is off the table.
the table. Yeah, Giannis coming to Toronto to eat PG Clucks. What's he gonna have
Yo,
next?
keep
man?
those chickens clucking, man.
What's he
Yeah.
gonna have next, man? Rudy's across the
Yo.
street.
Oh man, not
Yeah,
Rudy's.
Giannis is on college. No, I mean, this is not a surprise. You look at the way Giannis is cut, man. This guy definitely not eating fried chicken or pizza. Let's be real.
Yeah,
man.
he's Cuddy from the cut.
Also,
What up, General?
is his frame of reference from spots in Milwaukee? Like, I don't know what Milwaukee's
Yeah,
situation is on both.
that's a really good point. That's a really
Yeah.
good point. That is his main frame of reference. Yeah.
Milwaukee, low-key, Milwaukee had pretty good Somali food actually when I was out there. Bro.
Okay.
I heard Milwaukee's a good food town, man.
I think we
It's
could put
actually not
Giannis on Korean fried chicken.
Oh,
That's like a
oh,
whole
you
other
want
yeah.
thing.
KFC
Yeah, yeah.
and the K not Kentucky?
Yo, Jerome, we put him on some seafood pancake.
How many of them?
My God.
Tell us about the last time you had your second seafood pancake.
No,
No, but
I'm rolling off this Riz right now.
wait, hold on. If we had
They
to,
don't
You
need to
don't-
hear about me throwing up after
You
eating
don't.
too
You
much
don't
seafood
smell
pancake.
too good, Alex.
if we had to riz Giannis for a day in Toronto, like if Bobby was like, "Yo, guys,
Oh
we
my
need
God,
to,
what
we
is
need, we
this?
need, we need,
This
we
is-
need Hello's help."
This is state sponsored content.
Don't do this.
We take him to Drake's house. We got Cardinal out.
Okay, we
we
can't
pose
ro-
for a photo outside Scotiabank Arena.
This isn't where should we take Giannis. This is where we would
take a
actually
photo
realistically
at
take
the
Giannis.
CN
man.
Tower. Yeah.
I think you would just like spend the day with him at Shing, knowing you guys.
If we got Giannis one-on-one in the back room of Shing,
Or
he's
take-
signing in
or
Toronto
take-
tonight,
or
man. We
take
get him
to-
some
Take him to
mahjong.
Isla upstairs, you know.
Oh,
Record
we
a
took him
pod.
upstairs. We take him
record
to
a
the
pod at
Patois
Hardo.
downstairs. Oh my God, man! What else? We going next,
The
man?
move is you show Thanasis a really good time, and then he tells Giannis all about
Yeah.
it.
You know
I
what,
think.
Thanasis? You can also get this private room dining experience at
No, you
Shing.
can't, Thanasis. You sit out front, man. You wait
Guys,
for
you need a fourth for Mahjong.
Yo, that's right. Me, Alex, Thanasis, and Giannis playing Mahjong until 5 a.m. in the morning. He's signing immediately. I'm telling you.
I bet you
man.
Thanasis would be a great hang, though. Yeah.
He looks like a great
I
hang.
think he
Like,
would be an awesome hang.
Yeah. He seems like great vibes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
we can actually do a pod with him. You know, what else we doing, man?
I don't know how much mileage you think we can get out of Thanasis from a pod standpoint.
Infinite, like
Oh,
knowledge.
infinite. Yeah.
Everything, man. You know me, like the way I interview people, like I'm gonna get into his immigrant angle, his story there.
Oh my God! I gotta
How
hear
many?
about your
Part
gotta-
20?
gotta hear about your stinky lunches again, Gordon.
Oh, man.
My God!
Oh man, you know he got
Get
crazy
this-
stories from back
Get
then.
this
man.
Asian Heritage Month guy out of here, man.
All right.
Nah,
Okay,
man,
what else do we have up next?
All right, let's see.
Oh, the one
we
thing
got
that
a
Milwaukee
couple
does not
left.
have is good Asian food, by the way. So
Yeah, I could have guessed that. Favorite Nigerian food. Can you go ahead and
he
say
had
this?
fufu with egusi soup, which honestly, as someone who's had plenty of egusi soup in my life, elite dish. If you think back to Serge's season of, I think maybe third season of How Hungry Are You?
Yeah.
He
Serge loves fufu, man.
Yeah, he would open every interview with like, "We're gonna
Yeah.
have like." He actually
This is the
served
one. This is the
Giannis.
thing you eat with the hand, right?
It's like,
like-
yeah, it's like a
yeah.
starchy ball,
Okay,
and then
yeah,
you have
yeah.
some agusi soup with it. Agusi soup is great, man.
Yeah. As an uncultured scum, like I would
Yeah.
love to go for Nigerian food sometime.
You would not survive considering it's all universally spicy and you hate spicy food.
But I want to try it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You're gonna be crying when you have this agusi. I'm saying.
Not the crying Jordan.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
crying when you have agusi.
Can we get it? Can we get it mild or?
I mean, we'll try. We'll honestly.
Can I
we'll
get
try
some?
for you?
You know what? Vivek solved this for me last time. As long as you have some yogurt on the side, it cools it down.
That's only for Indian cuisine. I don't, or Middle Eastern cuisine even.
What if I bring my own
Nigerians
yogurt?
Are not, yo, bringing your own yogurt.
BYOY, man. Bayoy. It's your boy.
Bring your own probiotics. This guy's just gonna pull up with a Go-Gurt.
Gogurt Bataze.
Rudy Go-Gurt.
Oh my God.
Oh man, you're gonna look crazy in that. No, you'd have a great time. I think the other thing too is there's a lot of like tripe and stuff, and I know as an Asian
Ooh.
eater, you would love
Yo.
eat tripe.
Give me every single
You know what I
single
mean?
thing.
Some chicken hearts. You know what I mean?
Ah man, give me every organ. I'm an organ donor, man.
No, you're an organ acceptor, man.
Let's see. Got a couple more here. Pineapple. Shout out to Eric Smith. Pineapple or watermelon, and he picked watermelon. Great hydration. I do
Yeah.
think watermelon is the number one fruit. I want to say.
Yo, this is why we have synergy on the show, my brother, because that is
Yeah.
absolute. One of the best things.
What about Hong Kong and China?
What do you mean, man?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just-
So
Just two brothers like you and me, man.
yeah, but which flag? Yeah. So
Cooper.
what? Yeah, oranges underrated too. You know, oranges.
Yeah,
little
of course, of
tangerine.
course.
Shouts to our sponsor. Like,
The number one thing though is on my Giannis day, I'm gonna take him through Koreatown and one of those little fruit markets, Bloor Fruit Market.
oh, nice.
And we're
yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
pick up, especially on a hot day in Toronto. I mean, not now. Toronto's somehow like 8 degrees right now. I don't understand.
Yeah, the weather's kind of lying to us all the time.
But on like a 30-degree day in Toronto, Toronto gets a little humid in the summertime too. You walk past one of those fruit markets, and then you see one of those plastic like little tubs with just cut up watermelon inside.
Oh, yeah,
For
yeah.
$3, that is elite. You get that, you just start eating some watermelon on the street. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
man.
mango erasure. Yeah, mango is very up there too.
Giannis,
yeah.
you're gonna side in Toronto once you have those cut up watermelon on the street, man.
Watermelon's a pretty universal, accessible fruit.
Okay, fine. I'm sure they have watermelon in Milwaukee.
Holy shit.
Mango erasure. Yeah, I mean mango.
Mango's
Mango
great.
just takes a lot of investment to eat. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, this is the guy who bought a giant. Where did you buy the pomelo when we were in LA?
Oh,
Yeah, he got a pomelo.
Anthony.
And it just sat there all dried and
It
laid
was
out
super dry.
like
Oh,
a starfish, like a dying starfish in the fridge.
I was forcing you guys to eat pomelo slices until the very last day.
Alex, did you have any of it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But I
did it-
appreciate Will for making sure we have good
Always.
structure with fruit
Yeah.
and things like that, especially on
Well,
trips, right?
I'll be honest. I ate it just to support Will.
Jerome,
Yeah.
I knew that, and I saw and appreciated the gesture. The craziest part was, so when we went to LA for I think like 4 days to cover the Raptors. They were playing.
It was almost a week. I might have been.
It might have been like 6
Yeah,
days, yeah.
yeah.
But like we were there the Raptors were playing the Clippers and the Raptors playing the Lakers, so we were there for that trip. And we got into an Airbnb, and like the number one thing Alex was like, all right, I'm gonna take a nap, but can you go out and get us some Gatorade and can you get me
Vitamin
some
water in
vitamin water?
particular. Yeah.
So once we got down to Airbnb, Alex like took a nap and probably showered. Actually, 100% you showered.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Jerome were like, all right, let's go find the nearest like supermarket to find him a Gatorade and vitamin water.
Well, I thought we didn't do it until the next morning.
Oh, that was the next morning. You're right.
It
He
was
was
because it
sleeping
was
in.
like
He
it was our
sleeping in.
morning
Yeah, yeah.
routine. It's how we discovered our dim sum spot. It's
That's
how
right.
And I just remember walking through the area as we're looking through it, and we're in the produce section. I find Will again. He's just holding a large pomelo. He's like, "What do you think? Should we get a pomelo?" I'm like, "I guess we can."
Yo, I
How
was
can you
I was
say
palming
no?
that- I was
Yeah.
palming that
Yeah,
pomelo like
just holding
MJ,
it up.
man. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, where am I gonna go with this?
And then I took Will. We went to Erewhon to try his first $30
That's
smoothie,
we had that the first day. when
and
we
this was
arrived.
Will's
Yeah.
response.
Air One in the club getting smoothies.
We actually do have a live reaction from him that we never
Oh,
posted.
it was crickets.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
yeah, he's
No,
like,
'cause-
yeah, it's a smoothie.
No, the craziest part was so Air One is like for people who don't go to LA. This is like where like celebrities would go for their smoothies. Let's say, like
Yeah,
I think
and,
one
and
of them
there's
was like Hailey
celebrity
Bieber's, like-
inspired smoothies because like the Hailey
Right.
Bieber that we had, I think it was like strawberry based. That's like her go-to smoothie there,
Right.
and then they brand it that way.
Well, the craziest part was so first off, the smoothie I think it was like 25 US, so that's probably like
Yeah, it was up
30,
there.
like 32 ish Canadian. But then so the three of us all ordered it. So the woman making it was like making 3 of the same smoothies, and in the process of making it, you take the plastic cup, you have like your frozen fruits or whatever, they mix it and blend it, but then part of the ingredient of the smoothie was like collagen.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah,
right.
So
yeah.
like in like a ketchup dropper bottle,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
just like squeezing squirts of this white collagen into like the cup, and it was like dripping down the sides.
Sounds delicious.
I was like, yo, this is not a way to have this, man.
That's what LA's all about, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you really couldn't let that part go.
I was like, the visual.
You
of
guys,
this is
guys,
there
the
was just,
collagen.
there were just empty cups with just like squirts of collagen.
It was like an
rolling down
assembly
the
line
side.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it
yeah,
was,
do we have?
it was a good.
We have one more.
We have one more. I think it's the wrestling, right? Yeah.
hell
Favorite
yeah.
wrestler of all time. Giannis said Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
So, Will, do
He
you
goes
have
who?
do you have a favorite wrestler of all time, Will?
I always say Rey Mysterio because I get panicked and that's
Still around.
That's a good pick.
Still
I didn't know
around.
he was
pick.
still around.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he still doing like the 619 or whatever?
He
uh,
tries.
Yeah, no,
He, like,
he's
swings his old ass body and
surprisingly
kicks people.
agile for it. But one thing I found out because they have like an A&E biography series for wrestlers, and for Rey Mysterio's, there was just one segment where they just traveled with him to Mexico to get stem cell injections.
Oh, that's the storyline.
That was part of the storyline where they just
okay.
followed him there. So that's like how he's been prolonging his career.
With stem
he's
cells.
been around. It's crazy.
He's been around. Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero was cool too.
Mm-hmm.
I like Eddie Guerrero. What was the line? If you're not lying, if you're not cheating, if you're not stealing, you're not trying to win or whatever.
Yeah,
Damn,
his thing was
this guy
I
knows
lie,
ball.
cheat, I steal. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fire, man.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
too, Eddie. Just kidding.
All
I don't only do one of those 3.
I didn't think about it for a second. Yeah, correct.
I just occasionally shoplift. That's it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
everything else I actually don't do.
Been there. Alex, do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite right now? Since you are now a half year in, you're
I feel like my favorite changes like week to week. Every time I talk to you, I have like a new favorite
you do.
guy. Right now, I'm big on Gunther.
Yeah.
I think Gunther's my guy right now. But I think my favorite got to be Drew McIntyre. Like I really, that's my guy.
This is a Twitter guy, man.
Drew McIntyre is like
he's
my
crazy
guy.
on Twitter. Yeah.
I love Drew McIntyre.
Drew
Okay,
McIntyre. Wow.
Yeah.
Rome?
Uh,
We know it's not Edge.
all time. Although I haven't really looked much into him like these days. I know most people are really against him. All time was Chris Jericho for a good time.
Yeah.
And then these days I really like Gunther. I like Jacob Fatu. I think we're on opposite.
Yeah, I
ends.
mean.
That's right.
What?
And
You guys just speak your own language, I swear. And it's not Cantonese.
I'm pro Dominic Mysterio. I know Alex is not the biggest fan.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
There we go.
And there we go. Guys.
Tangerine?
Yeah, let's close it out with a little bit of Tangerine. Guys, it is time for the Tangerine Fan Inbox. Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, foundational partner of WNBA Canada and NBA Canada. Of course, they're not just fans of basketball. They're fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who put together the best Giannis the Toronto package over vodka verde slices with garlic knots for the table from north of Brooklyn at the Greater Good on Geary.
The greater good, of course. How could I
That's
forget?
what it is. If you're hearing this,
Nice little
there's-
wrist spot, too, actually.
if you're hearing this, there's no doubting your commitment. Fans like you are at the heart of what makes this game great. So while we prep our Thanasis Tangerine fan segment next season, Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the court to the stands and celebrating the way Raptors fans support their team, because this is how we fan. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball. We just have a couple of comments from the chat to highlight over here. Let's start off this. Just a question. The question is, who's the third team in this trade? I think this is in reference to the Raptors if they make a trade because they feel there should be a third team involved. because my gut tells me Bobby and Masai are moving like Doctor Strange and examining literally any and every trade scenario in which Giannis comes to town.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think as previously mentioned, if the Raptors were able to swing a trade for Giannis, that the team as is would need additional trades. Like, you know what I mean? Like how the Raptors traded for Kawhi Leonard, but they still need to trade for Marc Gasol to complete the team. So you would need to sort of target some of those other pieces, you know, and like let's Boston, for example. I mean, I wouldn't really trade with Boston because Boston's been fleecing teams recently, but like if they're wanted to trade dump salary and they're able to give up someone like Derek White, for example, that'd be something the Raptors should try to jump in on with. You know, I mean, I don't know what the trade package would look like, but again, you need to like find pieces immediately. Once you get Giannis, your only goal is to find all the immediate pieces to then force you to contend, and nothing else.
That's always the position you're in when you have a superstar, is that you're constantly having to find pieces to put around them.
Yeah,
like, that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
All right. This is just a fun comment that came at the beginning of it. Was just listening to your last pod and left to join the live one. So we got to love that commitment.
Hey,
just
welcome
like
to our
hello,
life,
welcome
man.
all
Wow.
day. Yeah.
I mean, we do carry you for like 2 hours each time these days. So.
Yo, we're pulling a
and
back
I
to
love
back,
it as
man.
the producer.
Pulling a back to back, baby.
we're running those Tibbs. I'm making the team play Tibbs minutes, man.
God damn.
Alex, shout out to you because Alex knows footy. What the polar bear doing on the pitch?
Yo, who's
Yeah,
gonna
I
win
know my
tonight,
footy,
man?
man.
You got Tottenham winning. You got Tottenham winning with
Well,
Brennan
you know,
Johnson scoring.
Well, you know, the match is a neutral site in Bilbao, Spain. So
Yo, how did you know that?
it's hard for me to really, you know, if this was at Wembley, I think it's a different story. But,
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, Tottenham's won their last 3 matchups against Man U.
What?
So I think the Spurs are gonna stay hot, man. It's gonna be the
Oh.
hot Spurs today.
Hot Spurs. Wow. Wow. We got Micah Richards on the pod, man.
This
we
is
got
proof.
Thierry
This is
Henry.
proof. This is proof. Anybody can fake their way in to be a sports analyst. You want to get
absolutely.
on Fan? You want to get on Fan 590? Just apply, get in. It's that easy.
You know what? I guess we are kind of proof of that to some people, which is a good and bad thing, actually. But Alex Wong, the soccer ball knower, that's kind of nuts, man. Good for you.
We'll have to see it. A little nod to Asian Heritage Month. Asian Heritage, Zach Edey, first team all rookie.
Oh,
Hey,
finally.
Absolutely
Something good for
deserved, man.
Asians.
Yeah, you wouldn't be Asian if you didn't end up on the proficiency list.
Yo, Zach, I better see. What do they get when they make first team? It's not like a award. Do they get like anything?
Yeah, I guess they
There's
don't get
probably
anything.
some kind of hardware, no? Maybe like a
feel
little
like it's-
medal. Like you should get like a little gold medal.
Yeah, I better see that at the next ARC event. Yeah.
Honestly, I
better
could
see
see
it.
that coming in. By the way, were you surprised that no Raptors made it to either rookie team?
Well, I think we made a little push for Jamal Shed. I saw he got like
We tried.
two second place votes, 2 second
He got
team
2.
votes.
I think there were other players that got like more that I was like surprised. But I don't know. I guess I'm not surprised that none of them made it. But you know, I think my cope of this would be none of the Raptors bench mob guys ever got rookie like on the all rookie teams either. So
Does it kind of also hurt that like having so many eligible rookies off of one team makes it hard to distinguish one?
maybe
Yeah, this is like when the evil villain Zach Lowe was like during the championship was like, yo, the Raptors have too many defensive players. I'm not gonna vote for any of them.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that was the rare time Toronto Flames Zach for. Quinton Post got 4 second team votes. Jamal Shea got 2.
2 of those came from us in Atlanta when we watched. them
Oh
for the first
my
time.
God.
We're like, who is that? Like, we actually spent the whole time looking at who is that. So
Yeah, exactly.
Shouts to Mr. Post.
In relation to
Mr.
Giannis and
Post, man.
AAPI Heritage Month, there is an Asian guy who lives in Toronto and is part of the
Yes.
Bucks ownership group and is
Yep.
super close to Giannis and his brothers.
This is
Yeah,
a real
see-
guy, yeah.
Seen him courtside. First spotted him when they won the championship because he was like super prominent. First thought he was an influencer, and I guess we did a little research, realized he was an owner. Yeah, he looks super cool too, man. He's like
He looks
just-
super cool. What?
he's like your generic like 25-year-old rich Asian. Yeah.
He's mainlander?
I guarantee you he has an off-white belt. Yeah. I guarantee you he is
He's like,
wearing an off-white belt.
For hat, Balenci. For shirt, Balenci.
Yo,
Pants,
being a-
Balenci.
being a
Shoes,
r-
also Balenci.
Being a rich Chinese like part owner of the Bucks is incredible, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so he just sits courtside a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
he's
this guy
there,
too.
man.
I'm not even kidding. Jeremy pointed this guy out to me.
AAPI looking up.
Yeah.
All right, up next. I mean, let's continue on that train. Is Henson Yang in the Raptors' radar for the 9th
Yeah.
pick?
I wish, man. I was just watching that clutch. All the agencies are putting on pro days,
State-sponsored pro days. Yeah.
These are legit state-sponsored pro days. So like different agencies, like like the Clutch one put one out. I thought Life Sports put one out. I don't know. Priority put one out. Like I've seen a couple of the clips online, and it's basically what they do is they just grab all the rookies from that who are represented by that agency, and they have them work out together, and then sort of invite media and GMs and stuff like that. The Clutch one will definitely had the biggest audience. Hansen is signed with Clutch, so he was in there with like Malawach and just a number of players, as you would imagine. It's a pretty big agency, but I don't think the Raptors will take him ninth. I just don't think that's realistic. I don't know if he will last though until the Raptors pick 39th again. So I would love it, man. Masai, if you're not gonna give us Giannis, can I at least get
this guy begging for Yang? This guy's like,
I will
Yang.
beg for Yang, yeah.
This
man.
guy's like, Yang can cook.
Man, you don't understand what Yang will do here in Toronto, man.
You know, the very day after you showed Hansen Yang highlights on our show, Jeremy was immediately in my DMs sending me videos.
Oh, yeah. He's been campaigning for me, too. Mainlander 1 and 2 have been sending me videos, man.
Jeremy's
Because Marshall
always
was
like,
also like...
Jeremy's first of all, Marshall, not your real name. Come on, man. I see you grinding, doing your media clips, your TikToks. I love those, man. But don't be hiding under that name.
Honestly, Marshall just hit up Alex after his medication.
Jeremy's always like, you guys watching OKC Denver outside? I'm like, no, I'm watching at home.
Yang Gang. Can we co-op Yang Gang from Andrew Yang?
Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall.
Okay. I love how Alex's bets now are just crazy walks.
Yeah, you just keep betting on walking, man.
You just want to walk so badly.
Yeah.
Speaking of betting, the Knicks are taking on the Pacers tonight in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Sick.
At the Garden, Giannis's favorite place, and the Knicks are 1.55 odd to win Game 1. I think you guys both picked the Pacers.
We did. Yeah.
I like the Knicks to take Game 1 tonight, though. I think they got that home crowd energy, Game 1. So what do you guys think?
Man, honestly, I think the Knicks actually do win this one as well. I know me and Jerome both took Indiana in 6, but I kind of see Indiana taking Game 2 and then hopefully Games 3 and 4 at home. But yeah, I think the energy for the Knicks is just like really impressive right now. It's actually hard not to root for the Knicks in some small way. I know for maybe older generation of Raptors fans, because the Raptors and Knicks played some playoff series, it was like, okay, I don't want to root for New York or whatever, but I gotta admire the energy, man. Like, it just looks cool. Like, the number one fan experience in the league right now would be to be a Knicks fan. And, like, I wouldn't necessarily be throwing shit at, like, Brian Windhorst, but, like, the energy in the streets right now, the fact that they're, like, parading everywhere, like, I don't know, man. It just seems like mad fun to be a Knick. You know what I mean? Like, you're a legend already. Like, OG's already a certified legend. Like, OG might be a bigger legend in New York than he is in Toronto, which says a lot about the energy of New York right now.
He's got Anne Hathaway posting about him on IG. Like, it's a different vibe when you're in New York, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Giannis, come on, man. Giannis, you have who's the Toronto celebrities posting Giannis?
We'll have Dan Levy.
Dan Levy, woo, man, eyebrows.
Yeah, we'll have who's that singer that you like? Jesse Reyes.
Oh, Jesse Reyes. Oh,
yeah.
Jesse Reyes will post about Giannis, no problem. Man.
For sure,
Drake,
for sure.
Drake will post about Giannis.
Yeah.
You think we can get Bieber to post about Giannis? What if Giannis wears a Leafs jersey?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Biebs. Who else we got, man?
Crickets. Anyways, Knicks are 1.55 odd to win tonight. Make sure you hit the QR code below and check out all your basketball betting needs from Betway.
All right. And switching back.
Let's go.
All right. What else do we have? Clearly, Giannis has never had a free pizza slice after the Raps score 100.
That's going to be like Jonte Porter, man. You win on the court and then you win off the court, man.
I got some pizza comments, but let's let's try to save the sponsorships.
Have you ever cashed in the free pizza?
I think back in the day I did. Yeah, back in the day, if you go to a game and then you just kind of cash in. Back then it was like physical tickets too.
Yeah.
Print out your tickets, go show them what's good. So yeah,
what happened? Like
pizza.
I remember doing it too, but I don't remember. Like, do they take that physical printout from you? Like, can I just go to a different pizza location and show that same printout?
Oh, you can definitely do that.
I think you can do that. Sometimes they have barcodes that they'll scan, so that'll kind of take it away.
I
but-
did that with McDonald's a lot with the free fries. Yeah, you know.
Right.
Yo, remember when Popeyes was giving out like 3 chicken strips if the Raptors hit 12?
That I
threes or
think was
whatever?
the best deal.
I think
Yeah.
that bankrupt like Popeyes.
I
I think
think they-
Popeyes was like, whoa, hold on, I didn't know
They definitely didn't have anyone from the Sloan conference working for them
Yeah.
because they
No,
did
I
not
know.
realize that 12 threes was pretty generic for like
12
a
threes
NBA
is
game.
basically free chicken strips after.
In
every
fairness,
Raptors
for a
game.
while with the Raptors, like threes were not guaranteed, and then I just remember they had all
Yeah.
these deals during the 2019 season. But like you have Kawhi, you have Danny, you have everyone on the team now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, they're clearing it every night. In a
Yeah.
modern NBA, it was crazy.
Well, yeah, I think with Nick coming in too, I think the idea was that he was going to shoot a bunch of threes. I remember
Exactly.
distinctly going to that media day in 2019 and asking everybody, "Are you going to shoot 40 threes a game?" and turning that into a big story. And like nowadays, teams shoot 50 a game, no problem.
Is that your thing? Like asking coaches how many threes people will take?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, Nick, I know you got Kawhi, but you're going to shoot 40 threes.
All right. Up next, you need Draymond to punch the Silverback in the nuts. Fair strategy.
Draymond also getting snapped in that fight.
Oh man, someone's going to finally punch back against Draymond.
Draymond might actually try to choke out the gorilla and die. Like
No,
from
I agree
that.
with you.
Yeah.
I feel like Draymond would be like overconfident in this
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
right?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah
You
he's
think-
going head first.
It depends. Is the gorilla gonna like try to like press up on Draymond to deny a passing lane, and then Draymond flails his arms? Because like that's half of his flagrant fouls from this year.
Just peeped Jerome's Asia shirt. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's a sick shirt, man.
I got it for free because I purchased this weekend the Asia A1.
Yo, show the other side. Show
pink
the
logo.
other side. Let me see that soul. Show me your soul.
Oh my
No,
god.
it's actually super clean, man.
Yeah,
I like the white pair a lot too. That's actually a great sneaker.
Yeah. No, I'll it runs a little tight up front. I maybe should have gone like a half size up, but yeah, we'll definitely start hooping in that at some point.
No, I can't wait.
I'm a Liberty fan, so I can't rep that.
Oh, you're still a Liberty fan.
Wait, since when were you a Liberty fan, man? I didn't know
When
we
I
had
went to
want-
watch
don't
one
you remember
WNBA Finals game in New York.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had Jason Sudeikis on the show.
Oh, man.
Oh
It's the
no.
most hurtful thing you've said to me, bro. What happened to W Riz?
Yeah, that's L Riz, unfortunately.
Uh,
L for
alright.
Liberty. Anyway, sorry.
This came up. I guess people had noticed it with when we gave our one and only to Shireen Ahmed, but new merch release in Toronto, Halal Welcome. Maybe they actually don't know about this, but we actually did create an alternate version of our logo, the
Oh
Halal
my
and
God.
Welcome.
Yeah, I
logo.
always saw it and saw all these shirts immediately.
Yeah, we need to set this up for a lot of our friends, and we haven't quite figured out how we want to do
Oh,
maybe the merch
Faisal, you
release.
wearing this, man? Come on, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
we got a lot of
I was
friends.
gonna ask, is this what Faisal wants? But, okay,
This is what Faisal wants, but not Vivek.
Oh, Vivek.
yeah.
Just for Alex, not for Vivek. Okay.
You want to know what
clear.
I called him in our chat last night?
Oh, don't even say
Please
that, man.
don't.
Don't say it, man. I'm worried.
Not
So-
in Asian Heritage Month.
Do you
during-
remember? Do you remember who represented the Mavericks at the draft lottery?
Like this year?
Oh,
Yeah,
Orlando
recently.
Robinson.
It was
Michael
no, it was,
Oh no,
it was
why did I say Orlando
Ronaldo
Robinson?
Blackman.
Ronaldo Blackman. That's a
Oh.
tease. Yeah.
I called him Ronaldo Brownman. Yeah.
All right, Jerome. Just put the next slide up, man. We got a fan email in here. Yo, oh no.
Yes, and yeah. On that note of it,
Yo, the worst, even worse than crickets is the silence.
I wasn't here, man.
At least give me the crickets.
I'm
should've-
John Moran right
I should have sold your screen at that point.
Oh.
No.
Yo, man,
Oh
nobody's listening, man. It's just amongst the three of us.
Yeah. This is not a Zoom call, Alex. All right. Final bit here. Alex brought it to our attention. Also on the same note of some
Yes, sir.
Hello and Welcome merch ideas. But Alex, do you want to talk to us about this fan email we got?
Yeah, was at Tim Hortons waiting for my hash brown today, so decided to check our show email for the first time in 6 months.
Sick.
And got an email from Sam here, and he says, "Hey guys, just started listening to the most recent episode and was delighted to hear it begin with Alex congratulating my beloved Crystal Palace on their historic first ever FA Cup final win. I'm Australian, but live in the UK now as my partner is from here. I go to all the Palace games, and the final on Saturday was the best thing ever. Also, I recently started getting into Slam Dunk after you guys talked about it on the show. The Slam Dunk style Hello and Welcome t-shirt that you guys wore a little while back was awesome. Please start selling this in your store, preferably with gray or black as an option. Please. Have loved every second of Hello and Welcome this season. Raps were a tough watch at times, but it was always fun tuning into the show to going through it all with you guys. The show has such a great vibe, good balance between the more serious basketball chat and the banter. Feels like I'm hanging out with friends just talking hoops. Keep up the great work and congratulations on making a great show and community
That's really
to
great.
go along with it. So Sam, I'll hit you up. We'll figure out a way. We'll send you a Slam Dunk shirt.
Ooh, man.
We'll figure it. I'm
Look at this thing, man.
yeah. I do my
for people,
monthly free merch run for people.
We might have to personally deliver that when we're in the UK.
Ah.
'Cause
yeah.
I don't know if you want to pay those duties. Nah, just kidding. man.
I won't be paying. Your P&L will be paying. Yeah.
Oh, not the P&L, man. God
And
damn it.
maybe this P&L will save me.
Nah, this shirt is fire, man.
Great
Yeah,
design
yeah.
by Jerome.
Yeah, we for people who are listening right now, we are showing this alternate Hello and Welcome logo that I tried to put the Hello and Welcome text in Slam Dunk font, and then there's also character versions of all of us. Alex is on the far left, Will in the middle, and I'm the blonde buzz cut on the right.
Yeah, that's fire. Hey, am I actually lighter than you guys?
Here, let's come back to the screen.
I'm staying out of color talk. Yeah, I've been.
I think
You know
Alex
what?
is.
That's fair, yeah.
I think you're
You gotta
between
sit this
Alex
one out,
and me.
Rolando Yellowman.
Oh, we're back, baby. Yeah, I'm usually pretty pale during the winter.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't take a trip like for a week to like some random beach location.
No turkey
Yeah, you didn't
Caicos
get your
this year.
trip this year.
Yeah. So,
No
but
Caicos after you
in
found out how
the
expensive it
summertime,
was.
my color perks up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's actually sun outside. Yeah.
No, sick.
Yeah.
That's just,
Um,
I don't see sun right now, but it'll be here
No.
for you.
You about to
Giannis.
see Sun Ming Ming, or who's on the Spurs?
Why am I about to see Sun Ming Ming, Alex? Explain that to me on Asian Heritage Month. Why would I see Sun Ming Ming?
Marshall. Anyways,
That's his real name.
I want to say happy birthday to a friend of the program and also regular listener Lauren Mitchell. Went out for dinner with her
birthday,
last
Lauren.
night. And we had good chats about the show.
Last time I saw Lauren, you had 2 seafood pancakes.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So Lauren just wants to pass along. I think there was one episode. I guess we were debating. I think we were debating. It wasn't Pelinka versus Bobby Webster. I think we were
was
talking
it
about
most
like
handsome coach?
yeah, most handsome Raptors coaches. And I think
Yeah.
you had made some
Okay.
comment about Javier Bardem being like not a sexy lead.
Oh,
And she just wanted to have a contention about that.
Okay.
And says that I think she says that Jerome came in and defended that take, and that
Right.
Jerome's the only one out of the three of us that can even speak on any of this, and me and you are terrible when it comes to judging any of
Okay.
this stuff. Yeah, so we're banned.
Oh, okay.
We're banned. But you know,
that's very kind.
And Lauren, I know we've been talking about getting Ennis on in the summer to
Yeah.
do some kind of movie review. Gonna extend the invite out to Lauren too, man. I think we should do something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for
as
sure.
well.
Yeah.
And also for Asian Heritage Month, I'm a certified cinephile.
Oh, yeah. for sure.
And we were talking about Kill Bill because I rewatched it recently. And
You're sick, Will, that you pick like one of the worst photos of it.
No,
fair,
just keep
fair.
going,
it's
keep
just
going.
better
Keep
not.
going.
Okay, I thought you were gonna pull them from No Country for Old Men.
No, I'm not.
Can you pull one from that too?
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah, but we were talking about Kill Bill.
Uh-huh.
And Lauren was like, "Oh yeah, wasn't Michelle Yeoh in that movie?" And she meant Lucy Liu. So racism.
Oh, Rolando Yellow Woman. Yo, this is a dangerous path, man. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
This game
Racism.
is-
So, anyways, racism. Yeah. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
what do you guys think?
We're
Happy
just
birthday,
saying the
Lauren.
word now.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
Okay, what are we? Really...
So Will just pulled up the photo of Bardem from No Country
Okay.
for Old Men.
This is
I did,
Jerome's
yeah.
contribution.
This was my
Alright.
contribution.
Okay, this
just
was
to be,
Jerome.
I wasn't judging
just
this
for fair
one.
play.
But these are okay. The original point was it's Eat, Pray, Love, and it's Julia Roberts' love interest. Okay,
Right.
and so like it's relative to the love interest, right? And Julia Roberts, is Julia Roberts, right? So I'm pulling pictures, and these are not just like selected. These are just like the top searches that pop up if you search Javier Bardem and Eat, Pray, Love.
I think Bardem is a pretty handsome dude.
He's
like,
pretty
in
handsome.
general.
Like I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
I think here's a solid
Okay,
photo.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
He's a good-looking
But
guy
he did
right
look
there.
like this in the movie. He looked.
But
he,
here's one thing
like,
at
here's
least
another
for
one from
like
the movie. Actually, you know what? He is pretty handsome. I might take this back.
the other thing too is if we're going off of like video, you can catch anyone on a freeze frame to look crazy as hell.
I mean, he doesn't even look that. This is just what he normally.
But he
looks like in
but
the
he looks
movie.
pretty solid there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think all in all, yeah, this man.
Would you rather have Javier Bardem's career or Chris Paul's?
I think Chris Paul actually outmogs him. Not even close.
I'm
Damn,
gonna
man.
I'm gonna think I'll take.
Damn, we're
Bardem.
talking CP, eh? Damn.
I mean, with all due respect to Javier, who I've now picked a second person over, but like, I think Chris Paul has made definitely more money than Javier Bardem.
Okay.
I don't know. You think so? Big movie stars.
Wait,
They make
nah,
a lot
hold
of
on.
money.
I think
Hold
I'm in.
on.
I think I
We
would
might
be
need to do.
enjoying-
We might need to do a net worth check on that one.
Our
legit,
net
though.
worth.
I think I also would be enjoying whatever my net worth is with my spouse Penelope Cruz.
Oh yeah, that's fair. And no one ever says Bardem doesn't have a ring. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chris Paul's
Like-
married.
But on the flip side, I never saw Javier Bardem hold on to his bird rights for 19 straight years.
Yo, man, Brian Windhorst wasn't gassing no bird rights on this one. Okay, it says right
What
here.
the hell are actors' bird rights if they exist?
Bardem? It says his net worth is $30 million, which is nothing to scoff at. But I think, that's
Wow,
what Chris,
he's only 30 mil.
I think Chris Paul made like $300 million.
Javier
Wait.
Bardem's made like Tony Snell money. Oh my god, man.
I'm just saying, like, you know, like I think it might pay.
I
more
like
to be in the
I like
NBA.
three broke boys talking about only 30 mil.
Oh
Chris,
man,
you already said Chris Paul's made $400 million in his career. It says.
he only makes. I'm watching a G League player basically on the big screen when I'm
Okay,
watching.
relax, man. Relax.
Come
man.
on,
That's how much they're
man.
trying to re-sign the.
I'm
Mitch Marner
taking
for.
Bardem.
Yeah, I think I'm still going with Javier Bardem here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back on Friday.
Yeah.
We will be back on Friday.
Do a little playoff 6-pack with Vivek Jacob. So
Big
we'll
V.
get into the conference finals and some other random assorted topics.
There you go. Okay. Leave a like on your way out, please. Thank you so much. Also, let us know what's your favorite Giannis trade package. Would you do it? I think ultimately, responsible me says no, and Alex, who's much more
Thirsty.
willing
Yeah.
and thirsty, is willing
Bring
to do
the
it.
hunger, baby.
Bring the hunger.
I found it.
Oh,
it
you
wasn't
did it?
lost. It wasn't lost in an Uber. So all Ubers, call off your search. I found my Game 7 Leafs towel.
Bring the hunger, and it says pizza right underneath. That's actually kind of fire.
Is it? I'm starving.
Do you? Oh, Leafs fans been starving for 58 years.
Yeah, leave a like.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. We haven't had a couple of reviews in a minute, but
Oh,
you know,
come on, guys.
Apple reviews. Come on, just
All
write
that
it
we
in,
do
man.
for you.
Yeah, man, write in the Apple review, man. Javier Bardem.
Review
and
only
make sure-
specifically the third hour of our shows.
Yeah, the show gets better and better. You know, when we start talking ball, it's like whatever. But like when we start talking anything
Yo, we
else,
dropping a Lord of the Rings trilogy this week for you guys, man.
Oh man.
Director's cut.
Yo, and no emergency pod labeling, man. No
I mean, there's
clickbaiting.
definitely no Raptors emergencies right now. Man. Let's say that much.
We could run the record if we wanted to for the longest average emergency pods if we just start
Oh.
retitling all.
Easily, man. Easily.
Yeah.
So thanks all for listening. For myself, Will, Alex, Jerome, this has been the Hello Welcome podcast presented by Betway. We'll catch you guys on Friday. Enjoy the week.